Did you see Batman yet?
No, I'm just gonna wait for it to be on HBO.
It's gonna be next
month.
in like 2 or 3 weeks. Jackass comes out on Paramount today.
Yeah, I want to watch that again.
Oh, you already saw it?
Yeah, have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I took my dad.
Yeah, that's right.
I went with my dad because me and my dad went and I saw it with him. I saw it with some friends when it first opened, and it was really cool because they were like, it was such a big deal that Jackass came out of like, it's rated R, no one under 17 without an adult, that they put officers at the door checking IDs because they were having I don't know. I live in Southern Oregon, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, so that movie came out when I was 16. I was turning 17 that year because it was 2001, and this was I turned 17 2002. So it was 2002, and I think that movie came out around August. I didn't turn 17 until December, but when the dude checked my ID, I think he just looked at the year, saw 1985, and went, all right, you're good. And so I got to buy a ticket while all my friends didn't because they were like 15, you know?
Yeah.
And so I just remember, I got my ticket. All my friends were stopped at the door, turning around and just giving them the double birds. But then thankfully they were able to get their dad to come down. Like we were able to get a dad to come down. So they all got tickets. We all got to see it together. Right.
Yeah.
And I just remember it was so good. I was like, Dad, you have to see this movie. So then I went, me and him, like a couple days later, and then he loved it so much. So it was just like, it's been 20 years. You know, I think me and him also went and saw number 2. But I was living in Portland when 3 came out. So it's actually, the day Jackass 3D came out, me and my study partner, who's also now a doctor, his name is Halsey, he works up in Portland, and an anatomy and physiology teacher who was maybe about 4 or 5 years older than us, and it was new to the job, but it was a really funny story. That guy was hired, but all the fussy older teachers didn't like him because he was like the young kid. He got pushed out of that job after about 6 months just by politics. Sucks. It sucks. So, but this was a couple months in. He realized what was going on, so he just said, "Screw it." And me and Halsey skipped class with him and went and we saw Jackass 3D. That guy was the coolest. I cannot remember his name. Shouts out. I know you're listening. And so just like, you know, I didn't get to see 3D with my dad, but then when this Jackass Forever was out, when it came out, I was like, I'm going to wait. And I called my dad. I was like, there's a new Jackass out. Do you want to go see it on Saturday? And he was like, absolutely. I bought the ticket. It was so much fun to get to go with my dad. So
I feel that.
It was a great time. Shouts out my dad. My dad rules. I just want to say that. If you think your dad rules, guess what? Not as much as my dad.
My dad rules at being 6 feet under the ground.
Why would you say that?
Because he's a piece of shit.
Well.
So shouts out my dad for being dead and being the worst piece of...
My best friend's dead. He was a good guy. He was cool,
that's sad, though.
Yeah, he died in 2014. Yeah, that was like 8 years ago. Shouts out Dave, up in heaven. What's up?
Oh yeah.
He always joked. He was joked he was gonna die if he died before me. He was gonna always be there watching me jerk off. Just so I would think about that.
Every time you jerk off,
every time I'm just like, Dave.
You're like, hey, what's up, bro?
What's up, bro? So I got more dead friends than you, and I got more trophies than you.
What a way to start this.
What a way to start the podcast.
Holy shit.
This is a great podcast. Welcome, friends, to I Have More Trophies Than You. Wait, hold on. I didn't say I have more trophies than you. I said I've got more trophies than you. So the episode actually hasn't started
yet.
No, but I've said it twice since then.
Right. So technically, maybe it's ended.
Wait, I already ended. Okay.
So show's over. See you guys.
Shit. Okay, hold on. All right. I have more trophies than you. All right, start. Welcome to the legitimate start of this podcast. This is I Have More Trophies Than You. That is you know what? It doesn't. It's fine that I said it the second time because I always say it again afterwards.
You're right.
Yeah. Okay.
We got to.
So this is I don't know.
What is the magical power that cancels it?
I love blatantly stupid rules to podcasts and streams, like giving myself a time limit and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So there are very strict rules. The first time I say the name of the podcast is when the podcast actually starts. I'm then allowed to say it afterwards, just in the opening. If I say the magic phrase again, that ends the podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
There we figured it out.
That being said, welcome to the podcast that I've already said the name of and can't say again.
Mhm.
This is a video game podcast about video games and the different ways that people play them. I am your host, Dr. Ryan, and I am currently the 87th best gamer in all of North America.
Hey, all right.
I went up one. Ooh,
I like that. And hey,
which is weird because I didn't play very many games this week. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm your other host, Chris. Hello.
I hate when you do that voice. I hate it. I hate it so much.
We're gonna find a voice that you like.
No. No, you're not.
Have I ever told you that when I was growing up, like I aspired to be like a voice actor?
I can see that.
Yeah,
I think
that was like one of the things I really wanted to do, and then like I found out that I don't want to say community. It's that that job is very gated. Like there's like 12 people that do stuff, and that's it. Like if you want to do more like that career, good luck. Like you got to have a really good voice.
There was a stranglehold on it at the beginning, and now it's like you don't see a lot of new people getting in.
Yeah,
and if you do, they're all already like.
It's just the same people. Like
it's like I have a YouTube gaming channel, and now I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It seemed like something cool. Like I always liked doing like weird voices and stuff, like and making my friends laugh when I was growing up. So I was like, oh, I always thought do that.
Maybe I could do it. I think I have a good clean voice. I could portray emotion. Like give me this is welcome to the screen test for us being voice actors. Okay.
Give me distress.
Okay.
Doctor in distress.
Distress? You've got to help me. They have my family. I don't know what to do.
Do jubilation. Give me some jubilation.
Guys, I just got 38 new platinums. I'm #1 in the world. I cannot believe it. I'm so happy right now.
That's not bad.
All right. Now you get no. Now you give me paranoia.
Okay, paranoia. Oh, me give you paranoia. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man. Guys, I think outside these walls there could be cops, there could be unicorns, but I'm not really sure. I'm really worried about everything. So if you could please just come over and just rub my back and tell me everything's gonna be fine. I think everything will be great. Please hurry. Oh wait, I think everything's okay. Maybe? No?
Okay.
What was that sound? Yeah.
All right. Give me frightened on a cosmic level.
Frightened on a cosmic level. Let me see. I don't know. Frightened on a cosmic level. It'd be like, oh, I can't believe this crazy monster is here and he's destroying everything. Oh my god, my house! And then like everything tumbles down and I die.
All right, now give me a birthday message for, let's make it someone who listens to this podcast. A birthday message to Kieran.
To Kieran? Hello, Kieran.
But you're a clown who's actually there to rob the safe for their parents' jewels.
Hello, Kieran. I'm here to tell you happy birthday. But I need you first to give me these couple digits that your family would hide stuff in this little safe, because your birthday card's just inside.
There you go. Hey, if you like those voices, hire us.
Hire us
and sponsor us. Funimation sponsor us.
Screen Acting Guild sponsor the show. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
By the way, I'm a part of that now, and I'm restricted to 2 hours of time. Is that the reason why Master Chief isn't going to be in the Halo show?
What?
Yeah, like Master Chief isn't in the show. Like it's
what?
Yeah, like Cortana, like real life Cortana, like the girl, the woman who plays her is in it. Master Chief isn't, and like he's in a suit.
Master
like,
Chief isn't in the Halo show.
No,
I thought you were kidding.
No, he's not. Like it's a different.
What the fuck is the point? Why? Oh, so Master Chief is in the show, but
Master Chief's in the show, but it's somebody else's Master Chief.
I thought you meant Master Chief was not in the show at all.
No.
I mean, maybe it's a Kiefer Sutherland situation where they're like, we need a big name.
Yeah, but like, what person's gonna go into that show? Because then my question is, who is that show for then? Because if it's not for fans of Halo,
anyone that likes Halo is a fucking. Let me go on record here. It's for fucking losers because anyone that likes Halo is a loser.
Oh, Xbox lovers.
Yeah, Xbox.
Wait, PC game. That's me.
Yeah. Well, I said it. Video games.
Yeah, video games. What have you been up to? What have you been playing?
I feel like we should start with you.
Really? Okay, yeah. First off, I have been playing a lot of traditional games lately.
Checkers?
No.
Parcheesi?
More like card games.
That's not a traditional. I think traditional game. I think Monopoly.
I
think Stratego. Did you ever play Stratego? Shouts out once again, my dad. We love Stratego. We bought a Stratego set when I was like 9 and we play it all the time. Do you know what Stratego is?
I've seen it. That was always a game. That was a game actually whenever I was like getting really into board games. I was like, that one actually seems like
Stratego rules. So if you don't know, Stratego is basically, it's a board. You have all these little pieces that have numbers on them from 1 to 9. And there's a flag. Your job is to find the other person's flag. And basically, higher number wins. The idea is that the other player can't see your pieces and you can't see theirs. And so when you move your piece onto their board, you each show the numbers and the higher number dies. Or, I'm sorry, like the lower number wins. I mean,
yeah.
So 1 is your strongest piece. You only have 1, right?
Okay.
Then you have a couple 1, 2, a couple 3s, and then have a bunch of 9s. 9s die. There's also bombs. Bombs can't move, but if anything hits them, they die, except for 8s, because 8s are the bomb diffusers.
Okay.
And you have a spy. A spy is the only thing that can kill a 1.
See, that
they
actually
died
sounds
anything
like
else.
Interesting.
And so the idea is that you're using your 9s to try to kill that. It's like you get to put your board however you'd like. You can put the flag anywhere. You can put the bombs anywhere. You know, you could put your 1 up front and just start running through, but if they hit a bomb, they're dead. And the idea is just capture the flag.
Right.
Insanely fun. Play that with my dad all the time.
There is a game that is kind of similar to that, or at least the way that you've explained it reminds me of Battle for Rokugan, which is an L5R game that Fantasy Flight did. It's insanely fun. It's basically you just you choose your clan that you play as, and then you each take turns placing units into the different parts of the map that you would wish to attack, and they're all hidden numbers. And the whole point of it is that like some of your pieces, like you always have a blank piece, which is like a bluff attack. It's like you could set it there and be like, hey, I'm gonna move into this line area and try to take it over, and then they would have a chance to like place units there or try to spread their army to try to take over other lands. And then you would like, I think it's like 5 rounds that you would keep like checking to see like what you take over and what you not take over. But I love that game, and if no one's played it, like if you haven't played it, go check out that game. I think it's a little bit harder to find now, but yeah, Battle for Rokugan is a fucking amazing board game.
It's on eBay for like $115.
Holy shit. That I got it like for fucking like 30. And then not only that, I lost a piece of the Scorpion clan and I emailed them and they sent me a new one for free.
This awesome. Looks like Risk mixed with Stratego.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's really fun.
You should play Stratego.
I should try that out sometime. Maybe
try that out.
Maybe that's we'll like when we do our PAX panel, we'll have a Stratego.
We're 100%. Hey, I'm committed to trying to get a PAX panel.
I am too. I gotta.
It'll be. I figure they want something that's more about video games, so maybe it'll be. Here's my idea for a PAX panel. What do you think about this? Live brainstorming on air. It was going to be the name of the podcast, which I can't say because it'll end the episode.
Right.
Presents why you should be a trophy hunter and why you should never be a trophy hunter. And then it's you and me just debating on why it's like the fun of trophies and why it's from your perspective on why it's ruining video games.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
I think that'd be like a debate, like you
we
and
could
me
like
in a
stand
debate.
on other sides of like podiums. And
I
debate
figured,
each
yeah,
other.
it could be like a debate. We'll get someone to be like our debate moderator. Like, I'll pull in like someone that I know that's there. Like, we could ask, I don't know if Frank's going or Jared or something.
Hey, this is a really good idea, and I already have like 10 ideas of it running through my head. It's like how to even interact like with people that would come. Like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea.
Like a Q&A. Okay, yeah. We gotta do that. All right. Mail. Put this podcast in an envelope. Mail it to yourself. That way, it's copyrighted. No one can steal.
The layman's copyright. What
traditional games have you been playing?
Other than that, I've been playing a lot of the Digimon trading card game, and hey,
you have something.
I do.
I might have spoiled something a little bit.
Oh man, this is interesting now.
I sent Chris a present.
Yeah, that's true.
Is it play the live present unwrapping theme song?
Oh, okay. Here we go.
All right.
Did you guys?
I sent you a present. I went to the Portland Retro Game Swap Meet and I saw something there. Mm-hmm. And the first thought out of my head was Chris must own this. And I bought it and I sent it to you.
Yeah.
And now it's time for you to open the gift.
All right. Let me grab it. 1 second.
Okay. For you at home, I am waiting for Chris to get the present. Hey, do you like Elden Ring? Guess what? I'm about to talk about Elden Ring for like 30 minutes when it's my turn. This is an Alpha Protocol podcast, but it's gonna be a lot of Elden Ring. Hey, go ahead.
Okay, so
what is your guess of what is in this present?
I'm trying to
first thing on your head. Go. What is it? Go.
I don't know why, but my mind goes to Digimon Racing on the GBA.
Open it. Oh, it's a little big for that, but go ahead and open it up.
All right, here we go. How's the unpacking
It sounds
ASMR?
Good. It sounds good.
All right,
Chris, I have an important question for you. Chris, will you be my Valentine? That's right. It's an unopened original box of Digimon Valentines for elementary kids.
Holy shit. Dude, this is tight.
32 Digimon Valentines with stickers and envelopes.
Oh, fuck.
That you would find at the Walmart when you were in elementary school and you had to buy. Digimon would have been past when I was in elementary school, but I remember in elementary school and it was Valentine's time and you would get a pack of 32 because the teacher said you had to give one to everybody in the class no matter what.
Yo, I know that nobody can see this right now, but the artwork on the back of it, like on all the different cards, is so good. I love the classic artwork so much.
I figured you would respect it more than anyone. Now you have an option. You can either keep it unopened on your shelf, or do you open it up and display all 32 in like a frame? Because I assume there'll be some duplicates in there. They're not all 32 different. That way you can have some open, some unopened. It's yours to do with as needed. But happy Valentine's Day.
Yo, thank you. This fucking rules.
A month late. No, I saw that. I saw someone just had a box of like unopened, like literally just a box of weird different like Valentine's cards that you would find in Walmart like 20 years ago. And I saw Digimon one. I was like, oh, well, clearly Chris needs to own this. No one else in the planet would appreciate this. Anyway, so
this is
there
a
you
cool,
go.
Like I should put this with all my sealed boxes of Digimon.
There you go.
Like this is a box that no one's got that I've got.
I'm sorry.
So much, man.
Put it in fucking Lucite and send it to WADA and get it rated. What were you gonna say about Digimon? I'm sorry to cut you off.
I've been playing a lot of the Digimon card games. They just had their first like regional event like in person this last weekend, and so I was watching that on like stream, and then I really want to play the Pokemon TCG really bad, but here's the thing, that game is insanely expensive right now. Not only that, the metagame it's not the best because it's just a lot of Mew running around, and if you're not playing Mew, you're playing Gengar, and that's kind of the format.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I was never the biggest fan of Gengar, but Haunter out of the original 151, That's my homie.
I love
number
Hunter's
one with a
design.
bullet.
I think I like
Haunter.
Hunter's design more than Gengar's.
If I was ever to get because Gengar's just a big spooky ghost, like a big bulbous ghost, where Haunter's like your classic. He's the fact that his arms aren't attached. That's what I
he's
was
just got like floating hands. And stuff.
If I was to ever get a Pokemon tattoo, it would be of Haunter. I'm never going to get a Pokemon tattoo, but I'm just saying if I would.
How much would it take? I know how much it would take for you to get a Big the Cat tattoo. How much would it take for you to get a Haunter tattoo?
I see $5,000. I get a Big the Cat tattoo. $4,000. I get a Haunter tattoo.
Hey, Bill Gates. I know you're out there.
Cash only, and you have to hand it to me, and you have to pay for the tattoo
on top of the $5,000.
Yeah. Oh yes, it's plus the cost of the tattoo.
Okay.
We're going to call Haunter $4,500. Yeah. Anyway.
What if it was like the Haunter? So it's like Haunter, and then he's evolving into Big the Cat.
$10,000.
But yeah, like so, and then Pokemon also had their first regional back since the pandemic. So I've been just knee deep into card games, and I just want to play card games.
Mix? Oh, Pandemic! I'm fucking stupid. I thought you said the Panda Mix. I was like, is that a Panda Mix? Is that a tournament? What the fuck are you talking about?
Really good. That was never a thing. I am such a big card game nut, and eventually when regionals start happening more frequently and like normal tournaments start happening, there will probably be like me jumping onto the show and just being like, hey, here's the tournament report, here's how terrible or how well I did. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm just itching to play card games with people. I miss it so much. And then Pokemon, there's a new app coming out though. Like they're getting rid of their old shitty like online gaming app, Pokemon TCG Online, and they're changing to something called Pokemon TCG Live. And the cool thing about it is that you can play it on your phone. So I absolutely cannot wait, and I'm looking for like anyone. If anyone's out there just slightly interested in Pokemon, I can tell you how to be a good player. I can't make you a good player because that's totally in your own hands, but I can help you with decks or whatever. But I'm looking for somebody to play when that game comes out. So because I will be playing it a lot, and then I can't wait to just really get back into tournaments again. And then I have been playing a little bit of Stranger Paradise, but I think it's something that like I want to talk about at a later time. Like I'm like 20 hours into that game, and I feel like I'm still kind of I'm scratching.
You're not there that you can't say anything about it yet.
Like I
get it.
I was sitting there counting because like all the different worlds or all the different levels are based on like different elements of other Final Fantasies, and I'm like, I'm still missing like this one, and like kind of going down the list. And I'm like, I don't really know how long this game is. I feel like I'm either halfway or like
you're further along than me, but I'll say so far, I don't see any of the other game stuff that you're talking about, but I completely see the exact storyline of Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah. Have you done the second?
I'm on the fifth. I just completed the 5th mission.
The second level is Sastasha, the first dungeon of Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, you know what? I was playing that last night, and I made the joke that this is the Dead Mines from WoW.
Yeah.
And then my friend Mike, who plays Final Fantasy, I was like, no, it's Sastasha. And you're absolutely right. Okay, so I have seen that. I just forgot about it.
And then I
also want to say that is the fucking Dead Mines from WoW. Like if you go through some caves and then there's a big pirate ship and you fight a pirate man at the end, it's like that's fucking WoW, dude.
I did think it was clever though that the first like mini boss you fight in that level is a coral, which is the first thing you fight in that dungeon. Yeah. So I thought that was neat.
I feel like that's less of a this is directly from Final Fantasy 14 and more. This is from Final Fantasy 1, but we had these assets, and also it's a nice little. I think it's less. I know that we were talking before. Like everyone's like, oh, it's some weird like world of Final Fantasy, and maybe I'm not far enough. Yeah, I'm thinking it's less. They're saying this is from that, and more. It's like this is a little nod, but it's still Final Fantasy 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
I guess we'll know for sure once we play more.
Exactly. That's because even as I'm again like 20 hours into the game, I'm still kind of trying to figure out if the different worlds being based on, you know, or the different levels being based on like the different worlds of Final Fantasy, if that is intentional to the story or something, or if it's just something that they were like, oh, wouldn't it be fun if you just kind of like went through these areas? Because even like the music is it like has like leitmotif that is just like, oh, parts of those songs, and I'm like, hey, that's cool. Like I heard that little bit. Like when I was doing the Final Fantasy 13 level, I was like, oh, hey, that's the music that's like the bum, bum, ba, da, ba, da, ba. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I like that.
I think my theory is that it's less a giant like it's a giant world and more it's like these are little homages for fans.
I think that's what it is.
But yeah, okay.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying the game right now. It is it's how I would like to play a Souls game, but not being a Souls game.
Speaking of Souls games, let's chuck this shit in the trash and talk about what will absolutely be the game of the year. I'm calling it now. Let's go to the Platinum Report.
Hell yeah.
This is going to be the smallest Platinum Report in recorded history of this podcast.
Holy shit.
Only 11 new Platinums in 2 weeks because I spent a lot of that time playing fucking Elden Ring. So let me just go through some other shit first, and then I want to speak on Elden Ring. So, since last time, the last thing that I had platinum before we did the last episode was the Ratchet & Clank game. So since then, I have platinum Would You Like to Run an Idle Cafe 2 on PS4 and PS5? That is a that's another graphic or visual novel made by that company that I think is making underage lesbian games.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this is I'm concerned now. This one is, I stopped and I read some stuff instead of just like powering through it to get the platinum.
Mm-hmm.
And this is at a high school.
Oh no.
And you're making girls kiss each other. And I'm like, I want to stress once again, it's not to get canceled. Not a problem with the girls kissing themselves part or each other. You can kiss yourself all you want to. These are underage children.
Yeah. That feels like a hang on. I'm looking at your PSN profiles and I'm seeing the like thumbnail of it's the more like 4x3 thumbnail, not the one with like the three girls. And this girl's eyes are too far apart. They're
yes, absolutely. So you're looking out there when it's the big one in a square, that's a PS5 game, and when it's the small Tyler one, that's a PS4 game. For some reason, PS4 and PS5 haven't done it. Hey, glad to announce that our friends at Christian Breakthrough Gaming are back with Bowling Story 4 Jane and Pammy version. These games are getting easier. Pogi, the people that make a bunch of the word puzzle games that I actually legitimately like playing, they have a new game called Word Breaker that is literally just Wordle.
Yeah, it's what it looks like.
Hey, I love Wordle. I do it every
Wordle's
day.
Great. Yeah, Wordle's
I love Wordle, and I did today's. I got it in 2 because I'm very smart. And so they just made a game I played it twice. The first time was actually playing Wordle. The second time, it's like, well, I've already done the puzzle, so I just looked up a list of the answers. But it was like, hey, it's fun to play Wordle. I like playing Wordle. We have a contender for now, the easiest platinum of all time.
Well,
there's a game called Radioactive Dwarfs: Evil from the Sewers. It is a
17 seconds. What the fuck?
Hold on. Listen to this shit. So this game is actually like, after I did the trick to get the platinum, I played it for a few minutes and it's like, it's a pretty fun, like homage to like late or like early 90s Apple computer games.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is that you're like a lady in the sewer who is trying to get away from dwarfs. So it's all about like getting to the end, and it plays like an old Apple IIe game. The only problem is all the trophies are based on beating the game. And when you start the game, you're in the sewer down a ladder. If you just turn around and go up that ladder, you get a secret ending where the lady goes, screw this, I don't want to do this anymore. And it unlocks all the trophies.
This rules. What a great idea for a game. How much did this game cost?
$5.
Hey, if you want a $5 platinum trophy,
I wouldn't suggest it unless you're sick like me. I did go back to the Break series for a very specific reason. I got St. Patrick's Day Break head to head on St. Patrick's Day. I just thought that was funny to do. Skip over this for a second. We'll get back to it. I platinumed Elden Ring on the PS5. We'll talk about that in a second. I needed a break after Elden Ring, so I did platinum the PS5 version of Task Force Campus, which is a very fun, legitimately fun shmup game that I've already platinumed on PS4, PS Vita, and a physical PS Vita version. It is a shmup where the idea is that if you stop shooting and are dodging, you can regen health. And the music of that game is legitimately good. It's got this weird dubstep soundtrack to it that goes in tune with the shooting of a bunch of the bosses.
Oh, that's cool.
I think it's fun. I really do. I know that it's only like a 20 to 30 minute platinum, but I legitimately think that is a fun game for $5.
Why does it have Agumon in like a King's Cape?
I don't know who that is. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the main Digiman.
That's called a Choco, and you have to collect them. They fall out of meteors. They give you, if you get enough, you unlock new ships. Then I needed a little cooldown. So I got the cooldown from Elden Ring. I decided to plunge into a really hard game, something that was really going to test my limits. So I did get the platinum in Megamind on PS3.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Shuts out Megamind. And then what was going to be I'm very excited to talk about this because you're going to think I'm an insane lunatic. I started playing Skylanders Spyro's Adventure.
That game
hold on. That game is actually pretty fun, but the platinum is actually very, very rare. It's hard because I'm to almost the end of the game. There's 22 chapters and I'm on chapter 18. There's a trophy for the end of that one for beating the final boss of that section, which is to fight. So all the final bosses are you fighting evil versions of the Skylanders 3 at a time. You fight one, then you do a middle section where it's like an avoid the lasers type thing.
Yeah.
Then you fight another one, then you do a harder version of that, and then you fight the third one, then you fight all 3 at once. The thing is, to get this trophy, you have to beat them all with one of the starting I was about to say Pokemon, one of the starting Skylanders basic attack. You have to use Gilgrunt's water hose. But for some reason,
you can only use Gilgrunt
for this trophy.
Oh, okay.
You have to use Gilgrunt only, and you only can use his square attack. But the problem is, like, in between these laser attacks, they drop food so you can get health back. But the cutscene is so long that the food despawns sometimes, so I'm not getting it. They made it actively hard on purpose. The last trophy of this game is to beat the final boss with only one Skylander without switching. And the thing is, the final boss is to beat all, like, 21 other Skylanders in a row without dying. So they made it hard on purpose for one reason, and I've succumbed to it. Yesterday, I spent $30 on eBay, and I'm having sent to me all of the extra Skylander little power-ups where you put like a potion on and it gives you all your health back, or you put this on and swords appear and start fighting for you. So I've bought physical cheat codes that are coming in the mail. I will platinum that once those come in, because this game cheats.
You should have let me know, because I have like all of them.
What?
Yeah, like I've got like all of the first like 2 generations of Skylanders.
Son of a bitch! Are you fucking? Well,
yeah.
Now they're all coming. So that's been.
I loved that game. Me and my wife played it together.
It is too much talking of shit you can't skip, but the actual gameplay, it's fine.
The gameplay is like, I was kind of surprised.
It's Gauntlet for children.
That's exactly what and I think that's why I liked it so much, is when we were playing it, because I was a huge Gauntlet head growing up, and
Gauntlet Dark Legacy on the N64 is the best Gauntlet game. I just want to say that.
I like Legends more. Or maybe Legacy's really good.
I don't remember. It was whichever one that you could play on N64, and you could upload your save onto the expansion pack, and then you could go to the arcade and put in your N64 expansion pack and upload your data. Whichever one that was.
Yeah, I always played it on Dreamcast. I was a Dreamcast.
Yeah, I played it on. I'm an N64 man myself. Anyway, that puts us at World Rank 550. Country rank 87. We have 30,481 trophies, 1,074 platinums overall. But I want to talk about Elden Ring, because you're talking about how it's like, oh, this is what I want a Dark Souls game to be. And I couldn't agree less, because I am not having fun with Final Fantasy Origins. I think it's pretty. It's not bad. I think it's completely like mediocre. It is. I believe the words I used to describe to you were, it is a dollar store Neo. Now you want what could be possibly the best video game ever made, legitimately, like, not my favorite because that's still Persona 5, but could actually be like the best single video game ever made by humans. Let me tell you about Elden Ring. Elden Ring is everything that people have been saying about Breath of the Wild for the last 4 years, but true. I think that Breath of the Wild is boring, mediocre, and gets dull after about a couple hours. Elden Ring is so fucking good that I put 80 hours into that game. I spent 3.5 hours on the final boss alone just because it was such a bitch, and I'm having to stop myself from go to buy a PS4 copy and play it right now again, all over again.
God damn.
And the only reason is because other games are coming out. But I'm definitely going to double plat this game when there's either later this year when there's a breakpoint or like as a treat to myself sometime next year. Elden Ring fucking rules. First of all, open world, so you can go anywhere at any time. There is stuff that's gated by the story, but people have already found ways around that. So fuck that. The world is massive. Everything that you find, you can go anywhere. You can find all of this shit going on. There's quest lines throughout the whole game, and they're adding more. And unlike Breath of the Wild, where it's like, oh, I found a dungeon, what I get? I get another seed. Because they all they do is they give you one of those little seeds and you can upgrade whatever. The actual dungeons in this game are all different, all have their own stories, all give different rewards at the end. The gameplay variations are massive. There's so many different ways that you can build your character. There is full dungeons, small dungeons, overworld stuff. There's fucking maps upon maps. There's secret underworld, like cities. Elden Ring will it. I don't see a world where I don't call Elden Ring Game of the Year at the end. Spoilers for December. When we do our end of the year podcast, Elden Ring is going to win.
See, I feel that way about Stranger Paradise right now.
I don't trust you. Because I feel like the only reason you like Stranger of Paradise is because it's got the word Final Fantasy on it.
No, I don't agree.
If you took the bullshit Lip Biscuit man and his little I want to kill chaos off, and it was the same exact like gameplay
actually
aspect,
I'll disagree because I've already downloaded Neo because this game I am enjoying much that I want to play Neo now.
Neo is a better game than this.
I'm excited to check it out. Like it was something that I always kind of like, skipped over because it was like, oh, if I want to play a Dark Souls ish game, I'll play Dark Souls. But like,
you should play Elden Ring.
Like it. I should play Elden Ring. See, I think I'm too like the one thing I really like about Stranger Paradise right now is that it is level to level to level, right?
Then you're gonna like Neo because Neo is the way that Neo works is that there's like a handful of levels, but then when you go to this level, there's 3 or 4 different missions. Right. So it's always the same map when you do these, but like what you have to do and where you start is different.
Yeah.
So like it's a smaller map to get it. Elden Ring is one continuous giant. Like
and that's what's scary to me right now.
It is the absolute like that dumb phrase, there's a mountain over there, you can go to it.
Yeah.
This is the game that has finally there's a mountain over there you can go to a game.
I mean,
because you can go to fucking everything.
There's so much chill with that.
This game's been out for weeks now, and there's still so much hidden shit. There are hidden walls that you can find. Like if you bang on a wall, it'll disappear, and you can find it in pass. Somebody found a wall the other day that only opens if you hit it 50 times.
What the fuck?
Yeah, there is just
Miyazaki's on a whole nother
shit
level.
upon shit upon shit. The story of this game makes no damn sense until you start to think about it, and then it's the best story that that a Dark Souls, like a From Software game, has ever had.
Huh. See,
I love this game.
I really want to check it out. It's just I don't know if I'm ready for another open world game right now.
This game will consume your life. This is I'm gonna I'm scoring that. We're doing this is the welcome to the Elden Ring episode. This is also the Elden Ring episode. This game gets a platinum for fun, a platinum for trophies. There's only 3 missable trophies. There's a couple missable trophies, but they're not that like there's one trophy for getting all of the legendary weapons, and there's one weapon that you have to get when you're in a dungeon, or else later in the game the dungeon disappears. But you have to go so much farther. Like you have ample time.
Right.
You can finish that dungeon and it's still there. It's not until you do something far, like almost till the end of the game that changes the world. That's like that's your point of like you better have done this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you have ample time. There's also some ending trophies that contradict each other, but with good use of save scumming, you can get them all in one playthrough, and it's not even that hard. You just have to do one quest line. You have to do one quest line up to a point, but not finish it, and then you beat the final boss. Then before doing what you do to end the game, you just back up your save to the cloud, and then do the normal ending. Download your save again. Do the secondary ending you already set up. Download your save again. Go finish that other storyline. Fast travel back and end the game. So it's like it's nothing hard. That's another great thing this game does. that has not been in any Souls games before. There is a giant world map and fast travel between bonfire points. Also, and this is going to sound really stupid why I'm so happy about it, for the first time ever in a Souls game, there's a jump button.
Yeah, like I've seen people using it as like you can jump off your horse and then jumping in, have like a double jump or something like that.
You can do like a jumping attack and just like, yeah. But it's also really great for discovering secrets. There's a end level boss that is supposed to be very, very hard, that someone found that there's a way to jump over his arena. And so the only thing that activates his AI to start attacking you is walking through the door. So people are able to, at level 2, jump just this way, get in, kill him, because the AI does not respond, and you get like 480,000 souls.
God
or
damn.
runes, whatever they're called. So it's like you can go from level 2 to level like 60 and at the very beginning of the game. It's like, well, I'm set.
Now, see, I got a question. Since the game is open world and you can kind of like do it in your own order, I guess.
Yes.
Does everything scale to level, or is it set?
No, everything is set level.
Okay. So there is like a theoretical like pattern that you should go in. There
is a path that you're supposed to go, and the game will help you. When you stop at a they're called sites of lost grace, but they're bonfires, which is really nice because then it led to you can go and touch grace. So you know that thing where people are like, yo, go outside and touch grass, man. That's the joke about this game. Yo, dude, fucking go touch grace. So if you touch a grace and then you look at your map, there'll be this gold arrow from the site of grace saying, hey, we think that a good story way for you to go would be this way. And so it's trying to like lead you to what the story is saying you should be doing next. But you can also just go fuck off and do whatever you want.
Okay. That makes more sense then. Because I was wondering how that worked, since I knew it was an open world game. Like, that's why I think Zelda works so well, is because everything's kind of set, but you don't have a progression in level. It's more of what resources you're acquiring throughout the journey to beat, whatever boss is in your way.
Everything has a power level that is set at the start of the game, and nothing, grows or decreases with your level. It's just that, hey, the first boss, if you're good enough, I've seen people, the speed run right now is like 28 minutes to beat this game.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's a lot of like skipping shit and like going through things. But it's like, if you're talented enough, you could go at level 1 and beat the first boss, or you can go and explore like the entire first continent. Spoilers, there's more than one part to this map. You're going to get this map, and it's going to be like this big area, and you're like, whoa. And then you're going to find an area to the east and to the south, and you're like, whoa, this map is big. Then you're going to find even more shit to the north, and then more north, and then the northeast, and you're like, this map is fucking huge. Then you'll accidentally stumble down into the subterranean world that is beneath you, and then you'll find out there's 4 of those, and you're just like, this game's fucking amazing.
God damn. It sounds really cool. I think I would like to check it out. I think that might be a summer game for me. Like, I might check that out then.
Something that you can. This game took me 2 weeks. The only reason this game took me 2 weeks to platinum is because I had to take 5 or 6 days off in the middle there to play that fucking Ratchet and Clank game. That's your fault. You ruined. You tainted my Elden experience. What's really funny is I spent all my time building this mage build that was like fucking obliterating shit. Mm-hmm. And when I finally got to the boss where it's like, you want to have this build and use this for it, which is the fire giant, I load up the game after work and they patched it and they ruined all my shit.
Oh, fuck.
Thankfully, when they patched it, they made something else better. So the other thing that this game has, which is unheard of in a Souls game, is they have the ability to respec.
Oh.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
In Demon Souls, Dark Souls, whatever, it's like once you've put points into a build, you're set. If you fuck up, you fucked up. If you better start farming souls because to change, because there's no other way.
There's usually like one other opportunity to do it, but it like costs you a lot to basically do that, right?
In this game, what are you talking about in Dark Souls?
In past Dark Souls games.
No, absolutely not. There's no way. There's no way. Shit is your choices are set in stone.
Oh fuck.
In this game, once you've beaten a specific, I think they call them greater foe. Yeah, once you beat well, fuck, I don't have to say. Once you beat the second main big dungeon and you beat the boss there, the boss doesn't die. Like you knock them out of their like bad shit. You don't actually kill them.
Yeah.
And now it's like, if you can bring this person, I'm trying not to say what it is to give no spoilers. If you can bring this person a very specific ingredient that is out, there's a limited number in the world, but there's not, there's like 20 of them. So it's like you have a bunch. But if you can find specific things, you can bring them to this person. And how it works is you do what's called a rebirth, which is they put you back. They don't give you your souls back. Instead, they give you all your levels back. When you pick a class, you start at a level, right? And they go, okay, like when I did it, okay, you're level 130. When you started the game, you picked a class that started at like level 12 or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you're now level 12 again, and you can put this many levels into whatever you want. And it shows you where you started when you were about to do the rebirth, so you can see the difference in numbers. Like, you had 30 in vigor, and now you're only putting 27, so you are going to lose this much health. Shit like that. So it's very good.
Wow, that's really convenient. Like,
I went from a pure intelligence build to a Dex Arcane build, which is all based around blood loss and the use of this special katana called Rivers of Blood.
Okay.
Because what's really cool is there are a bunch of status effects that you can put poison on people. People go mad, but one of them is called blood loss. And basically blood loss is a stacking debuff that you can put on an enemy that when it hits 100%, it takes a large percentage of their health.
See.
So it's like, you're not poisoning them. Like blood loss doesn't do anything, but once you hit 100% blood loss, it's like the bleed isn't damage over time. The bleed is a giant chunk of health, which is great on bosses. So I found this katana called Rivers of Blood that after they did the upgrade, it wasn't scaling right with Arcane, which is basically Arcane is your luck stat. But it also on this dedicates how much more blood loss you do. So with this special blade, and it's what it's called, it's Ash of War, or it's special art, which is you now understand playing Stranger of Paradise. I know you said you switched to the other style, or controller style, but the way that you play Elden Ring is that R1 and R2 are your light and heavy attacks.
Yeah.
And then L2 is whatever your like main hand weapons Ash of War is, which is like a special ability. On this one, it's called Corpse Piler, where basically you do like a 3-hit flurry, but at the end of every hit, you fire like a shot of blood off of it, and it just stacks even more blood loss. So basically what you do is that you roll into the boss, and then you just get up its butt, and then you just slash, and you just fucking melt people, because it's doing a bunch of attack damage and at the same time stacking bleed so that you get even more attack. There is this boss called Melania, Blade of Michaela, that is like it is a optional boss, but it's the hardest boss in the game.
Okay.
I don't believe that anymore, having fought the final boss, which I think is the hardest boss, but this is that boss. If you've seen any like of the videos online of those people going like, oh, people call this the hardest boss. I don't think it's that hard. And then this chick just dashes forward and one-shots people, and then that guy goes, oh, okay, I see it now. It's a very hard boss fight, and I was trying to do it with magic, and it just she was moving too fast. Magic is all about most of the magic can be dodged, unfortunately, and so I threw my head against that thing for about 3 hours one night, 3 hours the next night, and then that's when I was like, fine, I'll come back to it later, because I was also a little under-leveled going to it. My friends were just like, you should not be doing this until you've done a couple more bosses. Well, that fucking patch hit, and it kind of tanked what I was trying to do, and so I switched to the Dex build. I went and I fought a couple bosses, got a couple more levels. I went back to that hardest boss in the game, and I melted her on the second try. Her whole thing is that her first phase, that part sucks, and she's got a second phase where she has a second health bar and she moves even fucking faster. But like with that bleed, it's just like, oh, you're dead. Slash. Now I will say you're thinking, oh, I can just do this bleed build and start winning from the game. The thing is that the bleed build that I was using is all end game materials.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah, so there's some stuff like there are already like ways in the new build that people are like, yo, you can cheese this and you can get this one weapon called the Death Poker that does like death magic, and it stacks like these explosions on people. So people are always finding, that's the great thing about this. People are finding builds all the time. Spencer, who is the DM for me and Frank and Brian's D&D show.
Yeah.
He is trying to play the entire game just with fist weapons.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Like
fist weapons suck. But he's like, no, I'm going to punch my way through this game. I'm like, there's some final bosses that I'm like, I don't know how the fuck you're going to do this, but I believe in you. The fact that people are just finding funny builds is great. There's so many different ways to play this. Like, you never have to play this game one way. All things are viable. Some things are just harder than others.
that's kind of one thing I've noticed from other Souls games. It's like it seems to be pretty limited in the set of like what it gives you to play the game, but this one seems way more open, and I'm really loving that. Like there's a lot of videos I've even seen where it's just people being like, "Oh, I thought this game was supposed to be hard," and they like summon 3 ghost dudes, and then they just like fight the boss for the dude.
That's the great thing. They added a thing called Spirit Ashes, which is so all these games have always had the ability to like pull in, your buds as as random
other
people
players
help you
and stuff.
What they added for people who are like, I want a little bit of help, so it's not just me versus the boss, but I don't want to call in other people, is you can find these things called Spirit Ashes, which they can only be summoned in very specific places. It's usually just in boss fights. And then in the open world, when there's an open world boss fight, is the only place you can do them. Like there's a little symbol on your screen that'll say you can summon it now.
Right.
And what they are is you can find them around the world, and just like weapons, you can upgrade them, and they will summon like little companions. So like the one that everybody uses in the beginning is like 3 wolves or a bunch of speared guys, or I had one that was really good that was like 2 undead skeleton spearmen, which they were cool because if they died, like they have health bars, but if you don't, the skeletons in this game, how it works is if you kill a skeleton, it will resurrect if you don't destroy its body before it resurrects. Yeah. And so it's like a dry bone. So it's like these things will die. They don't have a lot of health. They'll die, but they'll get back up unless the boss specifically attacks them while they're down. And then that gave me time to get in the back and fire my giant, Kamehameha wave.
Right.
And then you can eventually find legendary ones. Like you can find a big headless guy. You can find this black knife Tish guy, which is an assassin that does blood loss magic. Or the best one is you can find this thing called the Mimic Tier, which is literally you just summon yourself.
Oh. I was gonna say like, hey, PC modders, I know you're out there. How can somebody mod the skeleton ghost dudes into dry bones? And
I've already seen crazy shit on like one of the. Okay, so when you first play the game, you go through a little tutorial place. You're supposed to lose to the boss on purpose. That's how it works. Right, yeah. And then you get out and you come into the world and you're in this open world. And it's like an oh shit moment. And the first enemy you see is this guy riding up on a horse, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go kill this guy. Mistake. That guy is there to teach you that the world is dangerous, because that is a level 60 enemy, basically.
Oh, fuck.
And it's there to be like, you can't attack everything. You need to choose your battles, right?
Okay.
I've seen people already modding that guy to you come out of the castle, and this is, instead of on a horse, it's that dude on Thomas the Tank Engine.
Why is Thomas the Tank Engine always like the first fucking thing that people mod into fucking video games?
I'm waiting for the Macho Man Randy Savage version where like all the bosses are like, dragons, so I want the dragons to be like, oh yeah.
That's what I thought you were gonna say, is that he rides up and he's like, oh yeah, boy, and then like hits you and you die.
that would be good. I can't. Fuck. I could talk about this, could be an entire episode, but the thing is, I don't want to spoil too much because the game is still rather new.
Yeah.
I suggest this game to anyone who has ever played a Souls game and thought that was fun. I suggest this game to anyone who's ever played Breath of the Wild and thought it was a good game when even though they know that it's mid as fuck.
Breath of the Wild's an amazing game.
Breath of the Wild is mid, C tier. It's not a bad game, but it's not a good game. It's C tier. It is the definition. It is the definition of a C tier game, much like Strangers in Paradise. So, Elden Ring, please play it. This has been the Elden Ring segment brought to you by Ryan.
Now is it time for the Year of Weird?
Yeah. Speaking of, I also wanted to just say really quick, as far the streak.
Oh yeah, is it still alive?
91 days. The streak going strong, baby. Since December 22nd of December, we've gotten 2,317 trophies total. We're on a 91-day streak.
Damn. Does that website tell you who has the longest streak?
Yeah.
What's the longest streak? Is it like 10 years?
I don't know.
Because that should be your new goal, is to become the longest streak.
Oh, absolutely not.
How many break games you gonna have to play?
I thought it did. I guess it doesn't. I thought there was a way to be like, what's the longest? Oh, here. It's got, I can see mine, but I don't see. Oh, here. Site's top 50 streaks.
Oh my gosh.
The number one streak, and it's still ongoing, is a guy named G6TDayHFE.
Good name.
Their tagline is "Dude, blueberries."
Classic.
3,351 days.
Woo!
Let's see, how long is that? Let me break out my trusty calculator here.
Roughly, right? Three years?
9 years and 9 years.
Nice.
9 years and a couple months.
Damn. That's fucking dedication. That guy's got a problem. That guy needs some help. Somebody needs to like walk into that dude's house and just be like,
no.
Do you need?
Someone needs to give that guy an award for being a hero.
That guy needs to go see a movie one day.
I celebrate this person and their achievement in being awesome.
Do you think they've got the platinum in Alpha Protocol?
I mean, do you want me to look?
Yeah, look it up. See if they've got it.
I'm going to see if this person's got the...
And if they don't...
I want to talk about... Yeah?
Then we start a campaign where we email them and be like, hey, you got to play this game. Because it's something. See, here's the thing. I need you to fill me in on what the story of that game was.
What? Alpha Protocol?
Yeah.
Alpha Protocol's story is absolutely confusing, but I love it. So let's get into it. Welcome. Play the Year Weird. Did we get a Year Weird theme song?
I don't. Now we
did. You put one in the last one?
I think I did. I did something somewhere. See, again, whenever I edit these episodes, I sit there like for hours, and then once it's done, it exits my brain, and I totally forget everything that's happened. But yeah. If I might have it in our assets.
This person has played Alpha Protocol, but did not platinum it.
Oh,
they have not played the game since January 15th, 2013 was the last time they got a trophy in it.
You know what actually sucks?
They beat the game. They just didn't go for the platinum, which I respect.
There were no trophies for me. There were no achievements. There was nothing on the PC.
What'd you play
version.
It on? Oh, on the PC version.
Yeah, which I thought was like weird. Like, why wouldn't they just, usually they just upload that into like the Steam one. But there wasn't any, and I thought that was really strange.
I want to shout out G6T Day HFE. They are from, what country is this? They're from Finland. They only have 171 platinum trophies. They're like nothing. They're not platinum hunters. This person, I think, is just about the streak. They've played less games than me. They've completed far less, but their streak has been going for 9 years. So I feel like this person doesn't play a lot of garbage. They play what they want instead of just playing for platinums. As long as they get a trophy a day, I think that's all that matters to them.
Jeez.
So hey, everyone's got to find their
niche.
Listen, I'm all about quantity. Some people are about quality. Some people are about difficulty. Some people are about rarity. G6T Day HFE is all about the streak, and I can respect that. So shouts out if you're listening. I know you are. If you ever want to write in or call in through email, call in through writing and talk about your storied career, we would love to get in contact with you.
That's what we should do. You know what? I might hang on. Okay. I might chase the
this
lead.
person might not speak English because they are from Finland. There is a chance of that.
Everyone speaks English in Europe.
All right. Well,
most European languages are dying out just to fucking speak English. That's the thing too. In fucking Japan,
you're gonna get us in trouble.
No, I'm not. That's not even like a controversial statement.
All right,
it's just true.
Year of Weird. Let's talk about it. I picked a game. Little backstory in this game. This game was made by Obsidian, the people that made New Vegas. This came out a couple months before New Vegas, and it never got a follow up. It was made for Sega. I fucking love this game because I think it's so wacky and kooky that the idea behind Alpha Protocol is you could easily call this Mission Impossible the video game, and it would totally fit. Would you agree with that?
You're not wrong. Like it's definitely that.
It is absolutely a Mission Impossible game. It is a third person. It reminds me a lot of Mass Effect.
Yeah, I could see that.
It is a third person shooter with a XP system where you up your ability in specific guns and like gadgets, and it has a what's it called? It has like a power
social wheel where you
it has a power wheel like Mass Effect, where it's like, okay, I'm using a pistol, I can use the special pistol powers. This game really is just Mass Effect in real life.
Did it come before Mass Effect?
So this game came out June of 2010. When did Mass Effect come out?
2009.
So I can see this game being very heavily inspired by Mass Effect.
Yeah. Whenever I was playing it, I kind of got that feel. I was like, oh man, there's a lot of stuff in this that reminds. There's one thing I think it does better than Mass Effect, and that's in its dialogue, it gives you like a timer to say something. and I was like, oh man, I wish the Mass Effect games did that, because having watched, my wife just play through all 3 of them, it was like there'd be times where she'd be sitting there on a question and looking up like, well, how is this going to affect things? And it's like, I did like an Alpha Protocol where it was like, no, you have a time, like, come on, hurry up, the conversation's about to end, like you need to say something, or we're just going to choose whatever your cursor's on. Like,
all of the they base their social wheel off what they called the 3 J's, which is when you talk to someone, you have 4 options. You have a neutral option, and then there are 3 other options. It's like professional, aggressive, and suave. And they base that off what they called the 3 J's of answering like Jason Bourne, Jack Bauer, or James Bond.
Oh, really? Okay.
So the professional is Jason Bourne, the aggressive is Jack Bauer, and the suave is James Bond. So it's like those are the 3, to them, those were the 3 archetypes of spies. You had Jason Bourne, who's I'm just there to do a job and get out. You had Jack Bauer, who's like, where's the fucker? I'm gonna beat you up. I love 24, by the way, so that's good. And then you had James Bond, who's like, hey, what's up? I'm James Bond. I'm gonna sleep with all the ladies.
See, that's when I was playing the game, I felt like a piece of shit, an even more piece of shit James Bond, because I would do, like, I almost always just did suave, and anytime I had a chance to threaten somebody or just end a conversation, I would do that. Like, I was
Jack
such a dick.
Like just punching with it. What's great about this game is it gives you the ability to do whatever you want.
Yeah, like okay, look, I'm about to spoil the shit out of this game. There's a part at the end of the fucking game where oh man, I can't remember. Mina is like all tied up to a chair, and there's like bombs around her, and she's like, I don't want you. And I was like, cool, see ya. And she fucking dies right there.
You left Mia to die?
Yeah, fuck. Yeah,
I was a piece of shit.
I was a piece of shit through the whole game. Anytime,
I hate you.
Like, because I don't know what it was. Like, the conversations went on forever in that game. Like this, if you want to talk about games that fucking where conversations just keep going, this is that game. Because
but the thing is the conversations, unlike other games where it's like there's too much writing for no reason, Final Fantasy Origins, the writing in this game and the story is important, because what you pick up from them talking will come up later if you were paying attention. Yeah, which I think is very important.
Yeah, like there's a lot of cutscenes that I skipped, but there were a lot of times where I would be like, oh hey, this is connecting to that.
You fucked up by skipping a cutscene.
Well, I mean, look, there were too many of them. I wanted to get to the action, like especially in the very beginning of the game, because that was like, I know for the whole first like section of the game, because the way this game works is it's like you have I think it's like 4 hubs. Like you have like Afghanistan, and then you go to like Moscow, and then there's Taipei, and
let me stop you there.
Yeah.
I'll go over this when I talk about the story, but
okay.
Yeah, what it is first of all, if you want to talk about a game that talks too much for nothing, Final Fantasy Origins, there's like, you do that first mission, and then it's 2 missions of literally nothing but cutscenes, and the writing is no, it is.
No,
absolutely.
Here's the difference. That game, no, because that game, literally the main character even says like, stop talking. I'm just let's now. Do it.
I have the conscience. It is my turn to talk. You do mission 1 of that game, then mission 2 is just a cutscene, and mission 3 is just a cutscene. Mission 4 is the next time that you can't dispute this. That is true.
Yes, but those cutscenes are so short. Like,
they are not short. I let it run.
Not only that, they're cutscenes. They're not like you're standing in your house and you're just running around in circles waiting for something.
Listen to me. That cutscene is 10 minutes long.
No way.
I fucking put it on, and I was so bored, but I didn't want to skip it in case something was important, that I watched something on YouTube about Elden Ring, and it was over and the cutscene was still going. That third cutscene is even worse. The characters suck. I hate everyone in this game. Well, all right, let's get back in Alpha Protocol. Yeah. So I'm going to explain Alpha Protocol. Alpha Protocol, the story is this. Your name is Michael Thornton, and dependent on how you play the game, you're either a veteran spy or you're a new recruit to something called Alpha Protocol. Alpha Protocol is basically like the Mission Impossible people, right? They're Black Ops. They're there to do, they're the 4th. What's the thing from
Fifth Echelon?
Fifth Echelon or whatever?
Yeah.
What is that? Why am I forgetting the name of it? I want to say Spy Hunter, but that's not right. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. That's not what the fuck is the name of that game?
Is it?
With the goggles.
Rainbow
Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell, yeah. This was a worse Splinter Cell.
This is a better Splinter Cell.
Oh, no.
Splinter Cell sucks.
No.
I don't like Splinter Cell. This is way better. Anyway, so the idea is that you've just been hired. Well, actually, the game opens in medias res. The game opens at the end of the game where you're being questioned about what happened before by the main bad guy. It's sort of like Persona 5, where like for the first 7/8 of this game or whatever, you're playing in the past and then it catches up at the very end.
Right.
Which is kind of cool. And so the idea is you are this new recruit, Michael Thornton, who has been recruited to be an Alpha Protocol, and they do all of the Black Ops shit that no one can know about. And so the first part of the game is the first hub. You are going on a mission to Saudi Arabia to take down Sheikh Ali Shahid, who is the terrorist head of a group called Al Samad. They're basically generic bad guys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so you have 4 or 5 missions all about what are you going to do when you get there. What's really cool is you can tackle a lot of these in any order, and they all have a purpose. What is super fucking cool about Alpha Protocol is the ability to set up your mission. So it's like you can go on this mission. It's like they ask you ahead of time, hey, do you want to buy some intel to get a better map? Do you want to buy some intel that gives you a dead drop of a sniper rifle at this specific building? So like you can use your money to set up different ways to play missions. And then in the missions, when you're doing these missions, it's like, you went on a side path and you found a data server where you can funnel their money to your account to get more resources later. So there's always extra shit, much like Mass Effect, this game is just Mass Effect, that you can do. So I'm going to stop there. Sorry, the story is you sent to Saudi Arabia and you need to get intel so that you can kill the Sheik.
Yeah.
At the end of the first mission, you can either kill him or you can talk to him and let him go.
I killed him. I killed everyone.
I played this game. I had to play this game. To get the platinum, you have to play this game 2.5 to 3 times. The reason 2.5 is because with some smart saving, you can basically do your first run. You do it on easy, and you use the rookie thing because that's how you get some very specific trophies. And there's a point about halfway through the game where you save it, and then you beat the game. Then you do the second half of the game a different way, and then you do your third run on the hardest difficulty. But it's New Game Plus, so you get to keep shit from the first run, so it's not as hard. And then you have to do it a third way. So it's like this is a game where the different ways that you either talk to people or do missions will greatly influence things later in the game. So it's like there are these 3 very specific endings where it's like if you don't talk to this one person before you do this mission, there's no way to do this ending, which is very cool. I like shit like that. What game was just like that I was just like, I didn't talk to this. Remember that game I was telling you about, the Forgotten City, the one that was
the like Skyrim mod.
The Skyrim mod. Yeah, that was the same thing where it's like if you do this before you do this, you've entirely lost your ability to do this. And in the Forgotten City, it was a little more nuanced where it's like, oh, it's so stupid that I did everything right, but because I solved this puzzle before this, when I talked to this lady, I couldn't have the option to talk her down because I was like, why don't you tell me about this? I should have just been like, I've already solved it. It's okay. I don't have to shoot you. And she's like, no, I want to shoot you anyway. So it's like, that's where I don't like it. In this one, it's like, they straight up tell you, it's like, if you go to this mission before talking to this one character, he will be offended.
Yeah.
Like, you have the option of doing that, and then you fuck yourself out of a bunch of stuff, or you go talk to him and everything's. So it's like, they give you more time, which is like, they straight up tell you, here's what's going to happen if you do this. They tell you this will happen if you don't do this. And so I appreciate that.
Yeah. I did notice that because on the affinity, there's like every time you like start the mission, like whoever's giving it to you, it'll tell you like they don't like you. They fucking hate you.
You know what's also really cool? So you get handlers on missions. You can pick like who your handlers, and they will give you buffs dependent on who, but also there are buffs no matter if they hate you. you still get a buff. It's just a different type of buff. It's like they're going to be rude, and their curtness will make you more on mission, so you'll have a 5% better chance of paying more attention to this type of thing because you won't be thinking about, that kind of shit, which I thought was kind of cool. So there's good and bad to being mean or nice to everyone. And there's actually trophies based on everyone liking you at the end of the game, everyone hating you at the end of the game, and there's actually one for killing every single person that you can before the end of the game.
I think
You probably
did that, but I don't have a collection.
You know what's funny? I want to say really quickly, I just realized also, because I was reading the Wikipedia on this, this is a game that we want people to play. However, if you don't already own this game, guess what? You can't buy it except for physically on PS3 or Xbox 360 because they took this game off Steam in 2019 due to expired music licenses.
Oh, interesting.
So
I've had this game for a long time, but I just never got around to it.
If after we talk, if this sounds interesting to you, you can buy this game and it's relatively cheap, but you're gonna have to play it on console or maybe good old games. I don't know.
Or just hit up your local Blockbuster.
Just go to Blockbuster and rent this computer game.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the end of the mission in Saudi Arabia, either you let him go or you kill him and you get his intel, but all of a sudden the place that you are is struck by missiles and everyone thinks you're dead. Yeah. Somehow you get out, but you found out that Alpha Protocol has been infiltrated by Halbeck, which is Halbeck is supposed to be their kind of Blackwater Halliburton thing, where it's like this evil corporation with its own paramilitary has somehow gotten into Alpha Protocol. And they're like the shadow bad guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
the evil organization that wants to now take over the world.
Well, they want to take over Alpha Protocol to use it for their
nefarious
spy.
plans,
It's your cloak and dagger shit.
Yep.
So then after that, you open up the main game, which is you get from the intel that there's 3 missions going on that are all based on this. There's one in Moscow, there's one in Rome, and there's one in Taipei. What's nice is you can choose which one you want to go do. I'm going to talk about it in the order that I played it in, which was Moscow, then Taipei, then Rome. How did you go?
I don't know. I think I just went down the list. So I think I went to, I think I did Taipei first and then went to Moscow and then went to Rome.
I don't think it matters the way that
Maybe I went to Rome earlier. I don't remember. Yeah. Cause, no, Taipei was definitely the last place I went. So I went to Rome, Moscow, Taipei. That's what I did.
I will say, if you are looking to do this and you want to get the trophies, there is a great step-by-step. So I played this originally on 360 back in the day, and there were guides you should go here, you should go there, but there wasn't a step-by-step guide. When I did it again on PS3, I used the step-by-step guide, which is actually on trueachievements.com, which is it's set for 360, but the guide works great on both. So if you go to trueachievements.com and look up Alpha Protocol, there is a great step-by-step guide about exactly what to do on each playthrough. Best way to put these are your long-term goals for this run. These are the weapons that you want to go after. So I highly suggest using that if you want to go for the platinum, because I don't think it takes anything out of it using a guide. It is still a very fun game. It's less about ruining the game for you and more about telling you the exact, you should do the missions in this order so that you minimize the amount of playthroughs you have to go to. Right. So I highly suggest it. So the first thing I did when I did this, it was Moscow. And so that's Operation Blood Feud. The idea of Operation Blood Feud is that you're trying to go after their weapons, and their weapons are being controlled by some Russian mobsters. You're looking for this dude named Konstantin Brachio, who is your stereotypical Russian mobster who's obsessed with the 80s type of shit.
Yeah.
And he rules. When you fight him in the battle, because they can't have superpowers. This is a real game. So how do you make bosses overpowered? That's right. You have him do cocaine, and that makes him go very fast and sustain more damage because he's on cocaine. I thought that was great. You go through when you're going through Moscow, the idea is that you're trying to get info on where the fucking weapons that Brachio is sending to Halbeck, right?
Right.
And so when you're going through, you do a couple missions, you find this other paramilitary organization called what the fuck were they called? The G22. And so the G22 are a bunch of like German military people who are also there, and they're trying to also kind of stop the same stuff. They're not really allied with you. They're just kind of like, don't get in our way, we won't get in yours. And they're led by a dude named Albatross. Albatross has this big Russian lady named SIE, and also this girl that doesn't talk named Sis, who's like the ultra assassin, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were cool.
All the like boss characters that you fight, I thought were cool characters. I was like, oh, these guys are neat. Like, sorry I have to fucking kill you now. But like, didn't mind them.
Oh wait, is Brachio the wait? Yeah, is Brachio's the dude that likes cocaine, right? Or is that Surkov?
That I think if I remember correctly, he's the one you fight in the museum, or like
right. No, that's in his mansion where you get to go to a cool Russia Coke mansion where all the gangsters are like have.
Oh yeah, and it's like there's the 4-mansion setup that you like go into each one of them. Yeah, that's right.
So what it is you go and you can either kill or spare him, and he leads you to a dude named Surkov, who Surkov is like the boss of the Russian mafia. And Surkov, at the end of it, you can either kill him, arrest him, or you can let him go and he'll help you get to Halbeck's fucking guns.
Yeah.
I thought the Moscow mission is kind of the most tame of the three. I think it's kind of the most boring in setup because it's fun to play, but I mean it's like it is the most generic, like, yo, Russian mobsters, go get them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like,
but it's so fun.
Yeah, it like that's the thing is this game. I think, like, honestly, the story was so lost on me, but like I had fun in the gameplay of it.
Yeah, because it's Mass Effect. Because it's just Mass Effect.
Yeah, it's just fun to run around a level.
It's a third-person shooter. It's a third-person shooter with very good shooting that also has the ability. It's like, I think the shooting is fine for a PS3 360 game.
The only thing I didn't like is that it felt like, because this is a role-playing game, like it's an RPG first. Is that it feels like a lot of your gunshots are based on dice rolls, so it's like a lot of times, like that's how fucking Mass Effect is. Sure, well, the first one, like the second one, it gets way more action.
Well, but once again, this came out right after the first. This came out before Mass Effect. This is a game where somebody played Mass Effect and it's like, what if it was real people?
Yeah, it's like whenever you line up your crosshair to like somebody, it will like slowly and I want to emphasize, slowly get closer and closer to the head, and then you shoot, and it's just that is a well, you can shoot before that. Yeah,
that is
and it's just like wildfire.
That is a mechanic called precision shooting.
Yeah,
where the longer that you stay aimed on someone, like if you stay for a couple seconds, it like builds up a meter, and when you shoot, you get a better critical. But
here's the thing: anytime an enemy moves and they move a lot.
Anytime an enemy moves,
yeah, like your crosshair will get bigger. So it's like
there are power-ups you can get for specific weapons
that would help
to
follow
time. So the best, I'm going to tell you this
that was
right
the
now.
Thing.
The best weapon series in this game is the pistols.
I use the pistols almost exclusively.
You would think that people would want to go for like the SMGs or the shotguns. The assault rifles are also pretty good. Yeah. My setup was always a pistol and an assault rifle.
Yeah, that's
assault
exactly
rifles no longer, or a sniper rifle. But the thing is, the pistols have as you go up their bar, they basically get the ability to have faster and better precision shots. So on the highest difficulty, you get the best pistol in the game on the first playthrough. You get the best attachments because you can put attachments on your gun, and you have the highest rank in pistols, and you just go around and literally it's just like, oh, it's a new area, let's freeze time, because they get their other thing is a complete freeze time, and it's just like headshot, everybody drops and you're like, I'm good, and you just shoot everyone in the head. It rules.
I want to say it's like an old Western game that uses this mechanic where like you stop time and then you just Deadeye. You target the five, like, because once you max out the pistol, you have like 5 shots that you can just target people. So you just spin around and you hit all 5 targets' heads, and then you just click it and it kills all. It's great.
Did you ever play Red Dead?
Red Dead Redemption?
Yeah.
I did, but I haven't. It's 15 years ago.
It's Deadeye. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just a better
or like VATS or something quick. From like Fallout.
Well, it's not so much VATS because VATS is unlimited time. This is like this is time isn't at a complete standstill. It's
yeah, because it will like tick away. Like
yeah.
But you have like a generous like
I think
30, 45 seconds, something like that.
I think they call it like your like reflexes, you know what I mean? Where the idea isn't that you're actually stopping time, it's just that you're so good at pistols. So it's literally just boom, 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 and you just shoot everybody.
It's really funny to see the animation as soon as you fire, because you'll just see all these bullets like shooting different directions from one point on your gun.
Yeah.
Like I love it.
So the next part is, I think, the best part of this game, and that's Taipei.
Yeah, Taipei fucking rules.
Taipei, the first thing that happens is that Mina, you're the one person from Alpha Protocol that's still talking to you, who's like your handler. She tells you, look, you're in Taipei. There's this dude that claims to work for the CIA called Stephen Heck, who's voiced by Nolan North.
Yeah.
And
he's the
like,
only guy that liked me at the end of the game.
That's, you have to play like a psychopath to get that guy to like you.
Well,
his whole this is what I was talking about before. It's like the game tells you, she's like, if you do anything in Taipei without talking to this guy first, he's gonna take it as an insult and shit's gonna go bad. So you have an option. There's actually a trophy for making him love you and making him hate you. So that's why you have to do. When I was talking about the save points before, I think in one of the this is the save point, if I remember. You're actually supposed to do, I think you do Taipei, Rome, and you leave this last. Or you do Moscow, Rome, and you leave this last, so that way you can redo it again. But where is it? No, it's Rome that you need to do. I'm sorry, I'm mumbling here. Anyway, you go to this fucker who is criminally insane, and he's like, yeah, I work here, and you meet him while he's like torturing a dude to death for working at an ice cream store, and you're taken aback. You're like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, no, don't worry, this guy is secretly an assassin for another. It's like nothing that would make sense to any other person, but he's like going off about conspiracy theories and shit. And the thing is, he hates professionalism. So if you act professional, he'll hate you, and he'll do everything he can to fuck you over. If you start like giving into his delusion, and we're like, yeah, of course, you got to watch out for they put it in the water, and then this guy will love you and it will help you. But the idea of Taipei is that you are trying to stop the assassination of some, I don't know, he's a government official named Ronald Sung, and you find out that part of the Chinese secret police, this guy named Omen Deng, is trying to assassinate and start a riot at some political rally so that they can start a war between China and the US.
Yeah.
And so the whole story of this map is finding information on why he's trying to kill Ronald Sung, how he's going to do it, where he's going to do it, getting the information on where the assassination is going to happen, how they're going to start the riots. And there's some pretty good missions in that one. There's one where you can like go and put a bug on like a CIA watch station. There's some good things. At the end of it, you find out that
is that the one where you like go into the CIA like safe house and they're like walking around. You've got to be like quiet to get around them.
Yeah, I thought that was a fun
because I walked into that one and just killed everyone, and me was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, "There can't be any view
or not letting anyone." There's a trophy where. There's a trophy in the game for doing 3 missions without ever being spotted. The only problem, there's only 4 or 5 missions in the game without almost every mission has a part where you're going to get found out, like no matter what you do, like it's story wise. So you have to do 3 very specific missions where you don't get caught. And that's one of them. And so you can get through that whole mission without ever being seen. You get even more like rewards if you don't kill anyone, because those people are fucking American operatives.
Yeah, fuck
you're
them.
Killing Americans. Okay, well, great.
No, yeah,
so
like anytime like there was a mission where it was like you have to be quiet, don't let anyone know. Like either I would immediately stand up and the alarms would just go, and I would just go guns blazing anyways, or like I would always have like a silencer on my pistol. And as soon as I took one person out, it's like, oh, I heard the silenced gun from 400 yards away. Like I knew that there was somebody here. Sound the alarm, and I'm like, how the fuck did anyone know I was here? So like, it's funny that you were saying like mission, you could.
You know how you do that mission?
Huh.
Pistols, baby, because you can get tranquilizer darts.
Yeah, that's true.
They're non-lethal. The other great thing about the pistols is that you can do non-lethal tranq rounds, and so you have all the same skills of being able to one-shot people in the head, but you one-shot them with non-lethal rounds, and then they just pass out, and nobody hears shit. Okay, so you do all this shit in Taipei, and at the end of it, you have this awesome gun battle with Dang, like overlooking the podium where he was going to shoot Ronald Sung. So you're having this cool spy battle on top of this. At the end of it, if you spare him, you find out that he actually was trying to kill you because he thought you were the assassin that was trying to kill Sung. And you find out it's all been a setup, and somebody else shoots him. There's a secret assassin. What's cool, though, is that on there's a side mission that you don't even have to do to get data. And if you get that data before meeting with Sung, like if you there's a mission where you go to Ronald Sung and you're like, there are missions in this game where there's no fighting. It's literally just there are missions in this game which are literally just conversations.
Yeah, you'll go to a cafe and like meet with, which like part of me is of course like get to the action, and then like I know that in another world, if I actually
it's a spy movie, dude.
Yeah, if I just looked at it that way, it's like, oh, it's totally, that's what you're doing. You are role playing that experience of like setting up a meeting at a public place, and you guys have like cryptid conversations with each other.
Yeah, like one of the missions in, I think it's either this area, is you meet this photojournalist named Scarlet Lake, and Scarlet is she pops up in different places all over the place, but she pops up in Taipei and she's like, I'm here to, report on the uprise in Taipei. And if you are nice, you can have a mission where you go and have coffee with her. And if you're nice to her, she becomes a contact where later she will send you dossiers like, oh, yo, I just got this information by doing this thing, and it'll make other missions easier. So it's like everything has a purpose.
That's the other thing that I think is like totally hilarious to me, because you're like, you can set up things to like drop you weapons, make missions easier. I don't know if this game is supposed to be hard or anything, because like I think I played on like hard or whatever, like whatever. I
don't think you can play on hard until you've beaten the game once.
I played on whatever not easy.
You played on normal.
And I just walked in as the fucking Terminator. Like look, I get that you role play as a spy in this. No, I was fucking the Terminator, and I walked
Chris,
through
if you
and
do not do what
everything.
so there are a lot of trophies where you cannot be the Terminator, and that's where the difficulty comes in. It is really hard to do some of those missions without being seen. Like, there are some tight windows of when and where you can't go through.
Because there were so many times where like there'd be a ton of people in front of me, and I was just like, brrr.
If you are just opening fire, which is what I did a lot on the when I did the hard playthrough, as with when I did the New Game Plus on hard as the veteran class, where I'm trying, and I think that was the run where also I was trying to make everybody hate me and kill as many people as possible. Yes, it's very easy to just mow down everyone. If you are looking for a game where it's just run and gun action, might I suggest go play Army of Two or something?
Yeah.
But like, if you are looking for Metal Gear Solid the RPG, that's what this is supposed to be.
Yeah, that's a very fair assessment.
So what I was trying to say is, if you have these missions, you do this mission where you get some assassination data about how they're gonna, like, the plan to kill Ronald Sung. Then there's a mission where you just go meet Ronald Sung, and it's completely conversation. You can tell him somebody's trying to kill you. You can't cancel. You got to cancel this, and he'll just be like, "Fuck off! I can't cancel this. You don't have any proof. Show me the data. You ain't got nothing." And so if you had not done this mission beforehand to get the data, or if you didn't do it and get all the data right, he'll just be like, "Get the fuck out of my office." If you do this mission, you can go, "Look, here is the information that says you're going to be shot." And he will say, I'm not fucking doing this, but tell you what, I'll wear body armor. So that final mission where you fight Omen Dang, like I said, if you spare him and you find out it was a setup, we were set against each other. We're both trying to it turns out we're both trying to save Ronald Sung, and someone else is trying to shoot him. And then he gets shot. If you gave him that data before, he's wearing a bulletproof vest and he doesn't die.
Okay. Well, see,
that shit is cool, right?
That is pretty fucking cool.
Because you shot everyone like a psychopath.
Yeah, see, the thing was like, that didn't happen for me, because when I got to that scene where I was fighting him, he was like, just finish it. And I was like, all right, and just shot him, and that was it.
He's saying that because he thinks you're there to kill Ronald Sung, and he's like trying to be like, he dies in line of duty.
And
if you paid attention to this game, I think you would have had a better time.
That's not to say that I didn't have fun, because like I did have fun in the mission. Like the level design in this game is actually like pretty
very
good.
good,
Like
right?
it's
Yeah.
like and while I don't like a lot of the like precision aiming stuff, like I wish if it were more of just like an action game, I think that'd be really cool, because the one thing that I kept having in my head while playing through this is like, man, I bet this game is insanely fun to do as a speed run. And I really wonder like what it would take to do that, because even like when it comes to like puzzles and stuff. Oh, what was it?
Oh, while I look this up, talking to puzzles, did you want to really quickly talk about, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
Oh, no, you're fine.
Puzzles. There are puzzles in this game when you're doing hacking where there are a bunch of, I really like them, but apparently you were having some problems.
Oh my God. Thank you for bringing this up. Yes.
So I think this is not the game's fault. I think this is a PC versus console problem.
It's a game's fault.
No, because on console, this was never a problem.
Yeah.
So there are two different ways. There's when you hack a computer, there are 3 different mini games in this game. One for hacking a computer, one for like hacking a like key card device, and one for picking locks. Did you ever have problems with the other two?
Okay, like, so I did, but here's the thing. Okay, to set all of this
before you do
up,
that, let me explain what they are.
Yeah, that's
so when you're hacking a computer, what it is you have, depending on the difficulty, it's either 4, 5, 6, or 7 long string of code of just like numbers and letters. And what it is there's this big giant block of letters that are constantly changing. What you have to do is you have to find the 2 sequences that never move. So it's like looking for the things that aren't flashing and then putting your sticks over them and pressing in at the same time.
I wouldn't say never move. They do move after a set period of time. But they only move to like 1 or 2 other like they don't constantly move.
Hold on. What I mean is that all the other bricks are constantly changing.
Right.
And it's like you have 10 seconds to find this string that is solid until it moves. What it is, you have to take the 2 sticks and basically move them at the same time and get over it.
Yeah.
On the PS3 and on 360, it was never a problem. Apparently you on controller, or not on controller, on keyboard, were having some problems.
Yeah, because the problem is that like the left side code is all controlled by AWSD. Great, total. That's great. I can do that. Up, down, left, right, perfect. The right side code is controlled by your mouse, and not just your mouse, it's by the mouse cursor. Well, here's the problem is that whenever you move your mouse, because this is not 2009 and we're not playing on, like smaller screens and whatever, we're playing at higher DPI mouse, all that shit. So when I would move my cursor, the code would like slowly move and try to catch up, and it would never like get there, and it would just stop. And then so I recorded a video and sent this to you because I was like, I'm not enjoying this. Like these suck, because the thing is that my mouse, you could see where it was moving, and the code would never catch up to that. So anytime I like my whole thing whenever I would get into these puzzles is I'd sit there, find the 2. The AWSD one was fine. I could keep moving that one around and get it. But the mouse one I had to find first, because
I have to assume that this is not, once again, I don't think
it has to be a controller thing.
No, I don't even think it's a controller thing. I don't think you can blame the game for this. I think this is you're trying to play a 2010 game on a 2020. This is like when I had the problems, like
100%.
When I tried to play Seventh Guest on a computer 15 years after it came out, and the computer was just like, I can't fucking run this.
Yeah, because the thing is that the game doesn't register how fast my mouse can actually move in this modern time, and especially like with how big, because this game was probably made in 720, so it's probably scanning at like 720 refresh rates or like whatever it is, like whatever that shit is, but it's being blown into 1080 because it's that.
I 100% understand where you're coming from. I just don't think you can blame the game for this. I think the thing you have to blame for this is coming from the game. You can't future-proof games like that.
You can't, but the thing is that
you probably can now, but it's just like they didn't know how to do that in 2010, and no one from from Obsidian is going like, this game can't even be sold anymore. So if you're like, well, they should put out a patch, it's like,
that was my next logical thing, is like, well, patch it, but it's like, well, you can't, because they're
number one, you can't, and number one, you can't because it's too old. Number 2, Sega doesn't give a shit.
No, you can totally still patch old games. Like Star Wars Battlefront is still getting patches, and that game came out in 2004.
this company is not going to spend
they're not exactly
they're not even selling the game, so the only way to get this game patched is for somebody else to, out of the kindness of their heart, patch it.
I do think, and
that's
again,
not
like
the game's fault.
I'm not a game developer for like this, like video game developer.
Yep.
Here's the thing though. There's
I think we should stop the conversation right there. You're not a game developer.
No,
you're about to say something that is probably very insulting to game developers.
No, it's not. I promise you. I promise you, it's not. Because the thing is that there are other games doing it, and there are other games that are finding ways to run it. You can run it through. No, you can. Hang on. Let me finish. You can run the game through. What is it called? It's like Windows. It's like a self-emulating Windows, which will reset your Windows to it. This game does not do that. So you like, and again, like I this is probably something that you can't do now because it's not on Steam or whatever. Like, I get that there are tons of hurdles to do this, but the problem here is, if you're, because this game definitely came to Steam after 2009. Like, if you are going to port your game to a PC, you cannot just do the bare minimum and just be like, oh, well, it works on PlayStation, it'll work on PC, because it won't. Like, that's not how it works.
I'd like you to shut the fuck up, and I'd like to note that this game came out on Windows the same day it came out on PS3 and Xbox 360.
But did it come out on Windows then, or did it was it ported to Steam then? That's the difference. Because if this was a Windows, like a game for live thing, then it's like, oh, well, that totally makes sense. This game was made for Vista, and it's using like outdated like everything, like stuff that like absolutely wouldn't work in this modern time. So like the thing is like, why would you take a game for Windows and put it into a Steam platform? Just blows my mind. Like, that doesn't compute to me. Like, you wouldn't do that. Like, you would change it like they did with Resident Evil 5 and fix it for that.
Hey, this game was released on Steam in 2010.
Okay, so
which is when it came out.
Okay,
so all these things that you're talking about,
port.
Like, it's not a port. They made this game for Windows.
It's just a bad version of it.
I disagree. I think that they made this game and it worked at the time, and our computers have gotten too good.
I kind of like want to see if there's videos or something that
I think that you are. I think you are trying to give this game shit for something that is outside of its control. Is that the game has this game has.
I don't know.
This game is a game of its time, and you were trying to. It's like trying to play a PS1 game on PS6, you know, and being like, it's like trying to play. It's trying to play a game of PS1 on PS5 and be like, oh, you know what it's like? It's like trying to play Guitar Hero on a newer TV where the refresh rate doesn't work and blaming the game for not knowing that better TVs would come out eventually. That's exactly the same thing. It's the same shit. It's, oh, why doesn't this game work on this television that was made 10 years after this game was made, and blaming the game for it? You cannot blame Alpha Protocol for not working on your brand new
I still think there's a difference between games that came out before the modern era and after. Like, I totally get that between like games that came out in 2002.
Dude, 12 years is a massive difference for 12 years is a massive difference for computers.
Okay, but then look at all of the games that came out in 2010 that still work totally fine on a PC versus this. Like, I definitely think this is not a triple. Like,
this is not a AAA game, so you're probably right that it didn't get. This is a AA game.
Okay, but that's still not an indie game. Like, that's still, there's hundreds of people that worked on this game. Like,
this is I would relate this the same to, we're talking about a game I would not classify Final Fantasy Origins Stranger of Paradise as a AAA game. This was a game made by a side, like this game came out the same time that they made New Vegas. So obviously they had two teams, and this was the
smaller team. Yeah.
Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise is definitely a side game being made by the Neo people while they're working on a better game. Sure. So it's like, it's the same shit of, I'm just saying that sometimes you gave games shit and it's for things that are outside their, like when you,
I don't think it's outside of their control.
Game, I do. I think that you should, if you played this game on PS3, like I told you to, instead of playing it on here, you would not have had this problem at all. And you would have gotten trophies. I want to get back to talking about the video game.
Go for it.
So,
Yeah,
I just think that I understand where you're coming from, and I'm not disagreeing that it sucks. I'm just saying that I think you're trying to blame the team for something that is not something that they could ever have seen coming. Because if this was true,
again,
I would have, once again, when this game came out, everything you're saying would have been reported at the time. And when it came out, everyone was like, this game is fun. And I never heard a peep of this. You're the first person I've ever heard have this problem. And it's because you're playing it in 2022 and not 2010. I think this is a issue of playing on a new computer. That's it.
That has to be like, because again, that's the only instance of it though. That's why I think it's because the rest of the game, like it tracks my mouse totally fine. It's just this one section of the game. Well, two, because the other one that does it too is the door puzzles, which use a very similar.
We didn't talk about the other two puzzles.
It uses a similar lock picking scheme to like any other game that has you trying to pick locks, where it's like you kind of bump the thing up, which on PC it's super easy because you just move your mouse to where it is. It's just funny
because that was the hardest one on controller on PlayStation.
Is it because do you have to like jiggle it to get it to lock into the place?
For those who don't know what it is, it's like a lock tumbler mechanic where you have to press up and forward and get it in just the right place so that everything lines up. The thing is, you have to like feather it so lightly when you're doing it, and you're under a time. So it's like you can't just jam up the stick, right? You got to feather the stick, and it's so like precise that sometimes you'll just not be able to get it fast enough because the controllers don't have as much control as the mouse. Right. Whereas the mouse, you know exactly. It's like, oh, if I just put it here, I'm good.
Exactly, which is my problem because again, the lockpick, it still had that problem of like, I don't want to call it like drifting, but like, it wouldn't have the same like scale of like how fast I could actually move my mouse, but like. That one was much easier to like know like, oh well, this is how I have to kind of move my hand for it, but it's still like it was just more forgiving, I guess, on PC because it's so much easier to just like move my mouse up and down and line it up just to hit it. But you could feel it, like you could feel that there was some kind of like thing where it's just like this is not moving the way my mouse should be moving.
It's great.
It was more forgiving, but it's still just that. It's just those two things where I'm like, it's not working for these two. Like, so that means it's got to be something with that, not the rest of the game.
It's a good note for this game that the thing that you spent 15 minutes complaining about the most is a mini game.
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, outside of the conversations like being too long, like, but
it's not what too long. Fuck off.
Yeah.
This game is not long at all. By the way, I looked it up. Speedrun for this game, 1 hour and 39 minutes.
Yeah, that's not bad. It only took me, I think, 7 to beat the game.
7 hours?
Yeah,
How long did it take me? It took me. Oh well, it took me 11 months, but that's because I played one playthrough and then decided. I did the one playthrough on the other side, and then I think. When was that? That would have been
9. It took me 9 hours. There we go.
Let's see. I started this game in August of 2017, and then I fell off because the end of 2017 into 2018 is when I bought a Switch, and I was playing a lot of Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey, so I didn't actually play a lot of video games at all in that point. And so that's like since I started trophy hunting. So I started at the beginning of 2017, and I made it until about Halloween of 2017 until I took like a couple months break to play a bunch of Switch because I got really into it. And then I came back in 2018 when God of War came out.
Hey, you know what's really funny?
What?
Sorry to cut you off because
no worries.
I started looking into mouse problems with this game. I am seeing threads from 2010 on June 6, 2010. I'm having issues with my mouse and puzzles.
Oh, okay.
So
well, once again,
I
think the biggest problem there then is that you played it on PC like a nerd. You should have played it on console and gotten trophies. But anyway, so I remember, I played through an entire playthrough of this game, and then I put it as like, I'll come back to it later because I had already played it once. So I think I put it down so I could play some other stuff and then came back to it later. But it looks like I started this game on August 3rd. I beat the game in 2 days. And then when I came back to it, I did the second playthrough in another 2 days. So I could have platinumed this game in about 4 or 5 days probably, but it looks like I took a break in the middle to play something else. So it's not that long. It's really not that long a platinum.
No, yeah, it's like
I remember doing this on 360 when I lived in Portland when I was going to med school, and I think I got all of the trophies over a spring break week.
Yeah, like I this game, even if you watch every single cutscene, you're probably going to spend like maybe 11, 12 hours at it on your first playthrough, and it's
a very decent game.
It's a weird
not
game.
That long.
It's something like I could recommend this.
I really like this game. We're not done talking about it though.
Oh, yeah.
The third part of it is Moscow. The Moscow part is all about taking on what's called the Veteran Combat Initiative, which is this paramilitary private security firm led by this dude that used to work for Halbeck named Conrad Marburg. And his thing is that he's trying to do a false flag where he's trying to blow up a museum and then blame it on the terrorist organization that the Sheik was running. So that way it's easier for Europe and America to declare war on them.
Yeah.
And so you're going in there to basically stop that so that A, Halbeck doesn't get any more power, and B, so that a bunch of innocent people don't have to die.
Now,
that should probably be number one.
During that whole thing, did you have like the one girl like that
Madison St. James?
Yeah. Did she live? Because like she didn't fucking live in my game.
There's a
very classic situation in that.
There's there's a lot of overarching trophies for runs. One of them is that there are 4 main like romance options, and is there sex in this game? Yeah, you can fuck 4 different people.
Oh man,
they don't show it, but you can have sex with Mina Tang, your operator.
Mm-hmm.
You can have sex with Madison St. James, with Scarlet Lake, and with SIE, the big giant Russian lady.
Oh shit.
What's really nice is that they all have like Mina likes it when you're I think suave and professional. Madison likes same, Scarlet likes that. And then the whole thing with SIE, she only likes it when you're aggressive. If you're professional, she fucking hates you because she's like, oh, you're a wet blanket. But if you're like the Jack Bauer, shut up, I'm talking. She's like, oh yeah, let's do it.
What a game.
There's also a trophy for not. You probably got this one then. There's a trophy for not falling in love with any of the women throughout the entire playthrough.
Yep.
But there's a trophy for keeping everybody alive, and you have to keep her alive. So the thing is, the final mission of that is with Marburg, and she has captured Madison, and she's put her in a room with a bomb. And the thing is, like, the final mission is you can either go save her life, or you can catch me.
Yeah. It's that classic like Dark Knight, like go save Rachel or like go save the city. And I was like, oh well, fuck you, fuck her. Like I don't.
Well, you can save her. Or you can save a bunch of civilians, and it's just like, you bitch. Yeah. And so you got to do it twice to do everything. There's also a hidden achievement in this area where if you do some very specific things and say things to Marburg to be like, he hates cocky, arrogant. Like if you're professional and stay professional the whole time, he kind of respects you and you get a different fight. Or if you're just a fucking like cocky jerk, he fucking breaks and is like, fuck this, let's fight. And you get into an earlier boss fight.
Oh shit.
And you can shoot him in the face and you get a trophy for it.
So I assume that this game has multiple endings. Yeah.
I told you this game has 3 different endings.
God, I'm fucking, my brain is like,
it's all good.
In and out.
So after you do Taipei, Moscow, and Rome, you get the final mission where basically you go and you turn yourself in to be captured. And then that's where the time loop, well, not time loop, but that's where the timeline kind of meets up with the beginning of the game where you've been talking to Leland, the guy that works for Halbeck.
The guy is like interrogating you through the whole game. Yeah.
You can meet up with him at that, he captures you, and then that's where the game like continues from the beginning. And so you get the final thing, which is Project Alpha, whatever the Alpha Protocol thing is, where you have to go through Alpha Protocol, stop Halbeck.
Operation Full Circle.
That's what it's called. Operation Full Circle. Thank you. So what it is Halbeck's trying to you find out that the plot of this game is very simple. Halbeck is trying to start World War III solely so that they can control the war economy. It's it's Metal Gear.
Yeah.
It's Metal Gear. It's the plot of anything like I always think of it's the plot of the second Sherlock Holmes movie because that's what Moriarty's trying to do in the second, with Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr.
Not watch those movies.
I love those movies. I really like Robert. I really like Sherlock Holmes, and I think Robert Downey Jr. was a very fun Sherlock Holmes.
You are the only person I've ever heard say that. I love that.
I love that. I think that those movies are better than the show with Benedict Cumberbatch where he's like a weird nerd.
See, I've never heard that.
The Sherlock Holmes
everyone always talks about that show and jerks off to it.
The Sherlock Holmes with Benedict Cumberbatch was fun the first 2 seasons, and then I think it got up its own ass too much.
Did it become like Doctor Who, where you just are like, oh,
hey, it's funny you say that. Guess who wrote the Sherlock Holmes show?
Oh, that makes sense. Is it Moffat or whatever?
Yeah, Stephen Moffat. Especially once Tumblr got into it, it was just like, in my imagination, Sherlock Holmes and Watson are lovers. I'm like, all right, fuck off. Yeah. I just want a good story about.
It seemed like a Tumblr
I like a detective.
show.
I like a detective. Do you know? Oh man. Speaking about Tumblr, have you ever heard the phrase super hulock?
No.
There isn't. You know about DashCon, right?
I do know about DashCon. DashCon, which was the Tumblr con, was all based around also a subsection of Tumblr, a fan base called Super Hulock, which are people that write fan fictions about the characters of Doctor Who, Supernatural, and Sherlock Holmes. Oh my!
All like fucking each other.
This is like a Sonic fan or whatever it is. Like, oh no.
Yeah, you're basically the same with your Sonic bullshit. When's that Sonic movie come out?
Next month, in 2 weeks.
They opened up a theater a town over that might be another like $2 theater. I'm thinking I'm willing to go see it for you just so I can shit on it because I know I'm going to hate it. But I think the way that I'll get around it is I'll grab my nieces and nephew and take them to it because they'll probably like it. And then my 3-year-old niece will probably not. She will probably not understand it, so she won't go. But I'll at least bring my nephew, who's like 10. I bet he'll think like, or he'll just be like, "This sucks," because he only likes Fortnite and Call of Duty.
If you ask me right now, what I'm more excited for: Batman, Doctor Strange, or Sonic. Absolutely Sonic. Like I'm not going to see Batman in theaters. I'm going to see Sonic.
That's because you are a freak.
That movie, Ryan, I've got problems.
I feel bad every time I talk shit on that movie because Tyson, who did all the art, is such a great guy, and his art is legitimately great.
He's an amazing artist.
I want everyone to know that when I talk shit on the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, it is 100% solely the script.
But see, that's the thing is why I love it so much is because Tyson's here. Like Tyson's there. He gets to be in the room to say, no. Like you got to do it this way. And it's like,
if that was true, that's not if that's true, there wouldn't be an entire plot about Olive Garden. There wouldn't have been all the dumb like
that was clearly like, hey, we ran out of money and we needed a product.
The Sonic the Hedgehog movie is no different than Family Guy.
But I mean did you see Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog like when we were a kid and it was just like
the one with Jaleel White?
Yeah, well yeah, he was the voice actor. Like not the Saturday in the morning one.
No, that's the only one that I watched. The only Sonic cartoon I watched
like with Scratch and Grounder.
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Are you talking about when it like Sonic X and all that stuff?
No. There were 3 shows that came. Oh man.
The only one that was on when I was a kid was the one with Urkel.
He was the voice actor for all 3 of them.
Oh, then the very first one where like the one
was it with like Sonic, Sally and stuff?
No, the one with like Sonic says at the end where him and Tails
Adventures of that's what's Scratching Grounder. Oh. That's the one where it's goofy and dumb. Like that's
it's Scratching Grounder. Are those the 2 robots that work for
like like
I thought you were talking about the other one when it was like Foxbox and it was just like it was a post-apocalyptic world and there's a green hedgehog.
That's Saturday morning.
I'm talking about the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, where him and Tails always want chili dogs.
Yes, and it's all goofy. That's exactly what those movies are. That is the modern day representation of it. It's the same.
No, it's not. And this is the fucking episode about Alpha Protocol. The problem what I have with that is the same problem I have with a lot of movies nowadays. And it comes back to the best example of this is that shit ass Ghostbusters movie, which is all they do is make the main character never stop talking. If they're not talking, there's a do you know Red Letter Media, the guys that do like Half in the Bag and Best of the Worst?
I know of them. I've only seen stuff when like
they have a very good video deconstructing why that Ghostbuster movie sucks, and it is the basis of if they're not talking, the audience isn't laughing, which means they can never let a joke rest. Someone must always be saying something, and it is joke overload to the point where nothing is funny because you won't shut the fuck up. Original Ghostbusters let a scene breathe. They would have scenes that were very funny because someone would say something and you give it time. New Ghostbusters is, I've got a funny thing to say. I've got a funny thing to say. And that's how that Sonic the Hedgehog was. Sonic's got a quip. He's got a laugh. He's got a ha ha ha. And to a lot of them, they do not laugh. What the worst thing about that movie was, it was the last movie I saw. I saw that movie and then the world ended.
Yep.
So like,
it was the Four Horsemen riding in.
I don't particularly like that movie. You as a Sonic,
I loved it.
Fucking, I use the word freak. I hope that's okay.
That's fine.
I bet you had a great time.
It was just a good family movie.
Also, here's the thing, though. As much as I hate that movie, I will also go see it because I have a vested interest in seeing any video game movie, as I have thrown my life away down this hole of video games, which
we're talking about one right now.
Hey, like I said, that Uncharted movie was legitimately good. Okay, so at the end here, so I'll say that depending on what you do throughout the plot, like if you let not Alcimede is the name of the terrorist group. What's the guy's name? What the fuck was the guy's the Sheik? Oh, Ali Shaheed. Yeah. If you let Shaheed die, or if you save him, if you save Ronald Song, if you kill or save Brachio, and Surkov, if you capture Morbog, or if you let the civilians explode, all of those, depending on what you do, lead to the endings of the game.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell me, what was your ending? Which one did you get?
It was me and what's his name? Sam. We just jumped in.
Stephen Heck?
Yeah, Stephen Heck. Yeah.
So on the last
me
mission,
and him jump in a boat. We fucking sail away after everything's exploding.
At the last mission, you get to choose who your handler is, and that will give you different abilities in the last mission, and also influence the mission yourself. So, what I mean is, though, did you confront Leland? Did you say I'll work for you, or did you say fuck you?
No, I said fuck you.
Of course you did.
Yeah, because that was my character. I was like a one-man army that would kill anyone in his path, and that's what I did.
So if you say fuck you, basically you just fight Leland. Did you kill him or arrest him at the end? So you just kill him.
Yeah, we executed him.
You got the general ending, which is, I'm the good guy. I won't shoot. So you shoot him. You stop World War III, and you ride off into the sunset. But Alpha Protocol is destroyed.
Yeah, which felt like
that's the good
thing.
Ending.
Yeah,
it's a good ending.
Which was really baffling to me, because I was like, I was the most psychopathic asshole through this whole thing. Why did it feel like such a good ending?
Because you were Jack Bauer. Like I said, it's the three J's. Were you James Bond? Were you Jason Bourne? Or were you Jack Bauer? You're Jack Bauer. You're just like, fuck it, I'm going to stop everything because I got to do what's best. You were just like, the greater thing to do is to stop World War III, and that's it. So what you can do is, if you do enough stuff, when you're having those interludes where you're talking to Leland, the way that you answer him can influence if he likes you or not. And if you do things specifically to make him like you, he'll offer you a job, and he'll be like, why don't you come work for Halbeck?
Oh, okay.
So if you say yes, then you break off into two different endings. So one of the endings is, you can just say, fuck it, I'm on team Halbeck, right?
Yeah.
And so you fight Yancey Westridge, who was like your handler, the guy that brought you in. And so you can either keep going with that and you can partner with him, or you can then double cross Leland. So that's the three endings. The three endings are, I'm a good guy all the way, or I start to work with the bad guys so that I can double cross them and fuck them, or I start with the bad guys and then technically double cross them again, but
you're
double cross that guy.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can either infiltrate and fuck them over, or you can just join them and then still fuck that guy over, but be a bad guy. Like, no matter what you do, you always fuck over Leland.
Right.
Also, through that ending, now this is important. This is something you never got. The only way to get closure on one other thing is, do you remember back in Taipei, I said you can save Dang and you find out there was a real assassin?
Yeah.
The only way to find out who that is to do this ending. Guess who the real assassin was?
Was it Mina?
It was Scarlet Lake, the photographer, the photojournalist. She's not a photojournalist. She's an assassin.
Motherfucker.
You can shoot her, or you can let her go, or you can be like, "Oh, good job, join my evil team." And
Man,
so
now I kind of want to have like the
ending always
though.
ends. The end is always what you got, which is getting away in the yacht. But the difference is, did you get away and you're a good guy? Did you get away and you're a good guy and you stopped Helbeck from ever coming back again? Or did you get away and now you're a bad guy who works for the bad guys?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Alpha Protocol.
It you know, completely honest, like I was really excited to jump into this game because it was a game that I had like always seen, and like I mean I bought it, like I've had it on Steam forever and I just never got around to playing it. And I'm glad that I played it because now I have that itch of just trying to learn how to speedrun this game and see if I can get it like really down or something.
I would call this
but
game...
I kind of even want to play it again just to like try different. That's the thing is like I think it did my playthrough and how chaotic stupid it was, and you know whatever I said about it, like it still gave me that itch of like, oh, but what if I did try to play as like the ultimate like quiet sneak around dude, or like
might
try
I
the other
suggest
classes and stuff,
doing this again on PS3?
Yeah.
So that you A, don't have that problem, and B, so you can go after the trophies.
Yeah, and then also have an easy.
The best way I would describe this game is like if you mixed Mass Effect with Deus Ex.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Honestly, at the end of the game, it felt like this was a big tech demo for how they were going to use like specific things in the future. Like
I mean,
dialogue.
you can definitely tell that they wanted more out of this game, and actually they wanted to make a sequel, but the problem is that Obsidian did that thing where it's like, well, we're going to let Sega publish it, and in doing so Sega owns the IP rights, and so Obsidian for years were like, we want to make a sequel, and Sega's like, we don't really care, because it sold 700,000 copies in the US and Europe combined, so it's like it sold well, but not like it made its money. It didn't flop, like it made its money back.
But it wasn't like a massive success.
It wasn't a massive success. So basically Sega's like, why would we give a shit? My hope, my dream is that Obsidian, now owned by Microsoft, this is the only way I would buy a game on PC by Microsoft. After I would never get an Xbox, but if Obsidian, backed by Microsoft, was able to get the rights from Sega back and make an Alpha Protocol 2, I don't care if I couldn't get trophies. I'd buy that in a fucking second.
Now that you mention that, I do remember that Sega and Microsoft just entered into a strategic partnership in the sense of like, I think Microsoft's going to help them make some games, but like it's one of those weird things where it's like, it feels like just like
if they made an Alpha Protocol 2, I'd shit my pants.
That would be amazing. Like I don't know what that partnership's going to yield, because I know that their partnership of doing Phantasy Star over here in the West is paid off really well, so they want to keep like exploring that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But that is Phantasy Star. It's an IP that everyone wants. Like hey, like it's not too far of a stretch to say, hey, you guys don't have to put up the money for it. We'll put up the money for it. We're going to make Alpha Protocol. That would be kind of fucking cool. Or just let Obsidian just make another game you don't have to call it Alpha Protocol. Do what you did with Outer Worlds. Like,
no, but I want Alpha Protocol. Do
you want to play as Thornton again?
I want to play as Michael Thornton, and also I want someone else to make it so it can be on PlayStation so I get trophies. Anyway, let me talk about the trophies for this game. This is an ultra rare platinum, by the way. 2.88 ultra rare percent. It's one of my rarest platinums, and I think the reason for that is it's not a very hard game. It's just that the amount of hoops that you have to go through to get those 3 endings.
Right.
A random person is not, like, only someone that wants to play this game is going to do it, and not a lot of people know about this game. Only 1,500 people have ever completed this, like 100% of this game on PS3. That's out of 53,000 people who've played it. Or at least uploaded to their data, right?
Right.
So the trophies are, like I said, you have to do 2.5 playthroughs to do this because of the 3 endings. Because of the 3 endings are join Halbeck and stop Alpha Protocol, reconcile with Alpha Protocol and stop Halbeck, or put an end to Halbeck and Alpha Protocol. So it's like you can do the ending where you probably did the ending where you reconciled with Alpha Protocol and stopped Halbeck. You didn't kill Yancey, did you? The black guy that was your starter dude?
Okay. I saw him for the first set of missions, and I never saw him again. So I don't exactly know what happened to him. I just know at one point I never saw him again.
Okay, so then you got the no compromise ending where you stopped Halbeck and you stopped Alpha. So the idea is that Alpha Protocol being under the under no watch because, they're a black ops, you're probably just like, this whole thing is corrupt. And so you stopped everything.
Yeah.
Then there's a lot of trophies based on like, there's a trophy for assassinating the Sheik, allowing the Sheik to live, preventing the assassination of Ronald Sung, preventing the riot, because you can do one or the other. Discover the identity of the assassin. There's a trophy for making Stephen Heck love you, making Stephen Heck hate you. It's a lot of either ors. And that's why you need the biggest ones are like, ask questions first, shoot later. That's refrain from killing in cold blood is nobody dies. Then there's judge, jury, and executioner, which is kill everyone.
Yeah.
There's like Thornton Inc. is the bigger trophy also, which is to turn all of the bad guys into a friend. So it's like, get the Sheik on your side, get, Brachio on, get all of the bad guys to trust you.
Right. Make your own super team, basically.
Yeah. There's one for romancing all 4 of the different romance options, doing it all in one playthrough, or don't romance anyone. There's also one that's fun called Hard to Read, which is when you can be suave, aggressive, or professional. This trophy says across 90 dialogues, you use each stance at least 25% of the time. So it's varying your what you're going to say. When you use that guide that I was talking to you about on your first playthrough to get everything, you have to talk to different people different ways. So it's very easy to get that trophy if you play correctly.
Okay.
There's like one for getting 3 people at the highest reputation, getting 3 people at the lowest reputation, getting a majority of the intel. The intel is so important in this game because the intel is not only just like story shit, but it is like, hey, this intel will make this mission easier. This intel will give you this in this mission. And what's cool is before every mission, there's a black market where you can get funds. And like you get emails that you have to check. Your emails, people will be like, hey, I'll give you $10,000 if you can get me this dossier in the next mission. And so it gives you little side objectives like, oh, I need to go through the main mission, but there's a side room. And if I do a little bit, I can hack this server and get something, email it to this person and make some extra money, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, that was something that I actually did while I was playing. Like anytime there was other like rooms to investigate or like secrets to find, I wanted to. Like I just had that drive of like, I want to explore this whole fucking building and try to find all the little like emails and like wads of cash that I could just pick up and all that shit. So I did enjoy that. Like that was a fun part of the game, the exploration of the levels.
There's trophies for so there's 4 main weapon types in the game. It's either pistols, SMGs, shotguns, or assault rifles. And so each one has a special ability. Like we talked about the pistol one, that you can get the crits. Yeah, you can get the good crits. So it's get 100 crits with pistols. The SMGs are to get. SMGs have a crit hit multiplier, which is when you keep firing the gun and hit people without missing and without reloading, you can get a multiplier on your crit level. And so theirs is to get the highest crit multiplier 7 times. Now, one of the great things about this game is that it does save what you're doing trophy wise without losing like data when you restart a checkpoint. So there's definitely some of these trophies for doing things a lot that you can find a good farm spot and just keep doing it, which I really love because there's going to be some trophies here in a second. It's like, I don't want to actually do that. I want to just cheese it because it would take too long. There's a crit one for shotguns and headshots for assault rifles. Those are honestly the 4 pistols. When you're playing on your first playthrough, you play it on easy, and it's really easy to just pick a weapon, use it until you get the trophy, then go to the next one. So it's not too bad. There's one for defeating 50 enemies with CQC, which is not that hard. And there's one for doing 75 stealth takedowns. So those are really good together. You can do a couple easy missions where the idea is you don't even fire a gun. You just stealth take down people and then run up and start punching people in the face and then restart the checkpoint. There's like a room in one of the missions in the area in Saudi Arabia where it's like there are 4 dudes in this room and there's a checkpoint right before it. So all you do is you go in, you stealth take down a couple of them and you punch the other guys in the face, and you just do that for a couple of minutes and you'll get both these out of nothing, right?
Right.
There's one for completing 5 missions with 6 different gadgets. That one is that you have like gadgets that you can bring, like, a stealth thing that puts it down and it'll like jam radio waves, or like a flash grenade. And so the amount of gadgets you can bring is dependent on the gear you're wearing, because you can get different like sets of gear, and they have different like some are more stealth than the others, some are loud, some are better for absorbing bullets, and some of them are tactical and they have more slots for different gadgets. Mm-hmm. The max you can get is 6. So it's just do 5 missions with the max amount of gadgets. That's very simple. There are a couple of missions you can do where it doesn't really matter what you wear. So you just do 5 missions where you wear the highest. Now, the nice thing is that, you know, those talkie missions that we're talking about?
Yeah.
Sometimes those count.
Oh, fuck. That kind of rolls.
There's a trophy. There's 3 trophies based on the 3 mini games. There's one for picking 10 locks, one for bypassing 20 devices, and one for hacking 10 computers. And then another one that is fully based on wanting to just save scum it is having placed 100 devices detonate. So you put down like a mine that is set off by someone walking by it, and then it goes off. You do that 100 times. It's really not actually that useful, I find. So there's another in the beginning where you just find a place where a dude always walks by. So you just save the game, because you can save anywhere. Put it down, have him walk over it, reset. Put it down, have him walk over it, reset. You just over. But the one trophy I would say is the hardest trophy in this fucking game, because it's also kind of buggy, is one with the shadows, which is completing 3 missions with less than 5 kills and no enemies alerted to your presence. The reason this one is hard is, like I said, there's only 4 missions in the game where it's possible, and you have to do it in 3. And sometimes it will forget that you did one.
Oh.
It is the one trophy in this game that's like, it's a little bit of a bitch. Now, thankfully, I never had that glitch on either. Other people have said that they've had that glitch, but there's a couple of very, very specific missions, and I'm trying to find here, which ones were they? So there are 5 different missions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, wait, 4 different missions. There's one in the Saudi Arabia place, which is the one where you're going through the airfield.
Right.
There's one in Taipei where you're going through the warehouse. There's one with the CIA listening station, and I forget I can't find it, but I forget what the last one is. And
it would be, is it the one in Rome where you're going to like the Colosseum?
I can't find it on here, but I just remember it's the bug the CIA listening post. Sorry, everybody. I wish I'd been a little more, I forgot to write this down.
No worries.
It's the investigate the White House data trial. It's the go through the airfield. Fuck, I cannot find the other one. Oh, here it is. And it's intercept the arms dealer in Saudi Arabia. No, that's the one. Oh, there's 2 in Saudi Arabia. That's what it is.
Oh, okay,
it's the bug the airfield and intercept the arms dealer are the 2 that you can do to not be seen. So you got to do 3 of those. So it said that you should try, even if you think that you've got enough, you should do every one that you can, just in case one of them glitches. Because I think that's what it is. Sometimes you have to do all 4. Mm-hmm. But if you can do them, you can't be seen and you can't kill anyone. That's why pistols with the trike rounds are very important. And if you can get through them, boom, you get that trophy, and that's the hardest one. Overall, I'd say that having to play the game almost 3 times, usually I'm not a fan of, but because these missions are so different on how you can do shit, I was okay with it. It was nice to be like, I get to see a new side of this game. So it's like, yes, I'm doing the same missions, but now I'm going to see what happens when I kill this fucker before I let him go. So it's like doing a choose your own adventure book again, but picking different paths this time.
Makes sense. Like that's again what I was kind of saying, where I kind of want to just speed run it, because it's like I just want to play it and see how chaotically different it is. Like that experience would be for me, you know. I think, and again, like I would like to replay and just see what playing as another class would be like, even like, or maybe not being the Terminator through the whole game.
If you wanted to get a copy of this game on PS3, I'll tell you right now that the average price for this game, complete in box, is like $12.
That's not bad. Like full honesty, $12 for a game. You're getting more than a $12 experience.
You can buy a complete free shipping complete version of this game right now for $15 on eBay. Damn. It's new. A new copy of this game for $15.
It's worth it.
Well, it's opened, but It's rather new. So
but still,
should you play this game?
Yeah.
Everybody out there, honestly, I cannot. Like I said, I really love this game. I know that it's definitely not like the best game ever made, but if you ask me if I would rather play Mass Effect or this, I'd rather play Alpha Protocol. Having now played all of the Mass Effect trilogy, I think Alpha Protocol is a better game because I like how different it is. Mass Effect is you can play different styles, but the mission is always the same. It is a linear mission, where these are your options on how you'd like to do things is vastly different. This is still one of my favorite games of the PS3 era. I would put it in I would honestly think about maybe putting it at like the 9 or 10, maybe 11 slot on like my top 10 games of all time. Like, this game I have a lot of good memories about. It's enough that I played it twice, so I love this game. For a fun factor, I give it a platinum. For a trophies, because there are a lot of things that are like, you have to be very specific. I'll say that I would give it a gold and not a platinum, because you have to go in. If you want to go in blind, that's great. Have fun. You're then going to have to play the game over a couple more times.
Yeah.
Doing a specific thing, and you might have just played it for no reason. So for that, I'm going to give it a gold on trophies, but I still think it is probably the easiest ultra rare trophy you could get that I know of, because it's not hard. It's just specific.
Right.
So that's what I'm giving it. What are you going to give it for fun?
For fun? Oh, man. See, I know that this rating is going to sound harsh, but I think I'd give it a silver, and that's not a
You're
bad
not my
thing.
friend anymore.
It's not a bad thing.
You're not my friend anymore.
It's definitely a fun game.
Friendship has been canceled.
It's just that, like, I think the game is a little long in the tooth in some parts.
It's not long at all. It's
like,
very not
I just
long.
think that some cutscenes could be shorter.
If you were paying attention to the cutscenes and not skipping them, you would have. It really is like watching a like, the other thing is that I find the story intriguing. I never find the cutscenes boring, because the writing is legitimately good. It is a Mission Impossible movie. This is the closest to a very good. I know there's that Mission Impossible game on N64. That game probably sucks. I don't know much about it, but like, Alpha Protocol really is the best Mission Impossible video game ever made, is the way that I would put it. If you are a fan of 24, if you're a fan of Mission Impossible, if you're a fan of the Bourne Identity, I think that you could play this game and get into because the story is intriguing.
Yeah.
The story makes sense. There's never any part where it's like, there's no filler. Like, the story is all long. I think that you weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
So that when they were getting into it, you're like, I don't know what's going on. I don't care.
Yeah.
If you had paid attention, I really do think you would have cared more. So,
but
yeah,
the level design in this game is great.
When you play it again on PS3 to get the platinum, because you're gonna get a ultra rare platinum out of it, you'll pay attention to the story and you'll say, oh, that was really good.
Right. Yeah, like whenever I play it again, we'll see. Yeah. And then maybe I'll re-rank it.
Way better written than Final Fantasy Origins.
I disagree.
Oh,
but at the same time, hang on.
You think this well-put story is better than?
I do.
It's not as good as I Want to Fight.
Let me put it this way. Here's the thing that I'm seeing a lot of people online, and we'll talk about this more, that are trashing this game for its story reasons. And I'm thinking that's not the reason to play Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise. Like, that, this game is not a story-based game. I don't think that there's much of the story to it. It's literally just four dudes, or three dudes technically.
3 dudes and a lady.
2 ladies that go around. Don't worry.
Did you spoil something?
No, because if you look at your box cover, you'll notice that there are 5 people on that cover. That are like, we have to kill chaos, and that's it. And there's nothing magical about it.
Yeah, there's only 4 people on this box. What are you talking about?
No, they're not. They're 5.
What?
Yeah. I'll look at it after.
No, there's 6.
Are there 6? Are you counting? Okay. Well,
there's an eye on the top, then there's an eye and a nose, then there's another set of eyes, another set of eyes, and then there's there's another person there. There's another. Oh wait, no, these are the same people. Oh, I see what's going on. Yeah. That's Jack in red, and then there's a lady there, and there's a lady there who's got 3 eyes. This game sucks.
But that's the
So what are you rating? What are you giving Alpha Protocol?
I think I'm giving it a silver, but it's a very strong silver at that.
I think it's a fun game to play.
Hey, platinum that still averages out a gold, and while I think 4 is
I think that's
low,
fair.
I think that's fair. I still think that this is, out of all the games we've played this year, this is my favorite game that we've played this year. I like this game. I like this game. Oh no, I haven't played it this year. I mean, what we've talked about.
No, yeah. But I'm even trying to remember what we've talked about.
We did Nier Automata, then we did Horizon.
Oh, Nier Automata was awesome. Yeah, that's the best one.
Nier Automata is the worst game that we've played this year. We did Nier Automata, then we did Horizon Zero Dawn, then we did Alice, then we did
Alice
Ratchet and Clank, then we did this.
I like Alice more.
You just realized?
Huh.
This is unfair.
What's unfair?
Well, because so January, I didn't get a game and you got a game. And then my next game after that was stolen by your wife. Your wife.
My wife.
Yeah. Do I have to, when I say your wife, do I have to say it like Borat?
Yep.
Your wife. So you're going to be a game, because I get the second episode of the month every year. And when we get to the end of the year in December, you're also going to get a game and I'm not. This is unfair. You get more games than me.
Is it?
Well, I didn't get it. Okay. In January, you got a game and I didn't.
And then, well, didn't you like originally? No, I wouldn't.
Because we did, instead of doing the episode, we did the
we did the like welcome back to the year kind of thing.
One of these months, to balance it out, one of these months in the future is going to be a double Ryan month.
Well, there are no, you'll get a game in December. You'll get the final game in December.
No, because the final episode of the year will be
no. We have 3 episodes in December.
Oh,
yeah. Because we have one on the 2nd, the 16th, and the 30th.
I wanna break down if by halfway through this year, if it's looking like it's not going to be even, I might steal and have a whole month of me.
We also have 3 episodes in July.
We'll have to do some accounting.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was a good. Oh
yeah.
This was a long episode.
This was a double feature.
Yeah, because we got to talk about Elden Ring.
It as.
Yeah, Elden Ring and Alpha Protocol.
And
Alpha Ring. Elden Protocol.
Alpha Elden Protocol Ring.
All right, so yeah, that was a good episode.
Yeah.
I really liked it. That leads us to what will be
the next game. Yeah, because we're going to take a trip. We're going to
where we going?
The shadows. We're going to repeat some history and figure out what this grainy field is, because we're absolutely gonna fucking talk about Stranger of fucking Paradise.
No, we absolutely are. No, we already talked about it.
No, we are. We're doing it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it in full, because I'm gonna finish the game by then. Might even get that platinum, because I'm really loving this game.
It's gonna be a fucking welcome. This was literally the longest episode, not counting the end of the year episode. Welcome to what's probably going to be our shortest episode. I know the future. Here's the future. It's going to be you nonstop talking about it, the same thing for like 45 minutes, and me going, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of boring. So
see, but that's the thing is, there are a couple bosses that I want to ask you about, and like,
I'm already locked into getting the platinum because I got trophies. So it's like I have to do it. So whatever, I'll play your dumb game.
We should try to do the multiplayer sometime too, because that's the thing.
This is gonna be a bad episode.
This is gonna roll. Well, look, our last Final Fantasy episode went over well.
You have my permission to skip the next episode if you're listening.
No, don't do that. It'll be episode 19.
So okay, fine. We'll do your fucking game. Yeah. Whatever, it's your choice. I don't care.
It's gonna be good.
You're
gonna love
the
this
episode.
Game. Into it.
We did the episode. Now I gotta go play some more of this shit game. Hopefully by the next time, also my Skylanders will come in, so I'll have that done. Can't wait to talk more about that. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
Are you gonna play Skylanders Giants whenever you get to it?
Like, I feel like one of those. Like, I feel like at a point they made those games unplatinable because they put online shit on it. So like the reason I can't get the Disney Infinity trophies, which I would totally go after, because they put like there's a trophy for like
I have a bunch of those
downloading things from their server, but the server doesn't. Those Lego Dimension games I could go and get, but it would be about. But the thing is, so unlike Skylanders, where they put out those like other packs where it's like, oh, you play this, extra area. They didn't put any trophies for it, so I don't have to do it. Those ones I would have to find the game with the setup and then all of the expansion things. And the hard part at this point is finding like them to buy where everything is together.
Right.
But I honestly, just for how stupid, like, there's trophies based on The Simpsons and then Doctor Who, and then I would think about doing that if I could legitimately find. If you're out there and you have Lego Dimensions, I think it's on PS3, and you have all of the sets that relate to the trophies and everything, so that I could get all the trophies, because I don't think there's any online things, and you want to sell them, maybe tweet at me. But until that point, I think that I have to go play some more of this fucking Final Fantasy game. But it doesn't matter if you get the platinum before me. You know why? Because I will still have more trophies than you.
That's not the name of the show.
Oh, you're right. Well, how do I don't know a way to say it organically now. That's the hard part about ending with that same phrase, is that you can't put in like.
No, because what you do is you just go, you know what? I have more trophies than you.
You don't, though. I have more trophies than you.
There we go. Hey, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. If you'd like to send us questions, gaming memories, comments, or if you just want to know when the next episode's going to drop, then you can follow us on Twitter at MoreTrophiesPod. That's MoreTrophiesPod. That's More Trophies Pod. Also, you can email us at ihavemoretrophiesthanyou@gmail.com. It's just the name of the show, all one word, at gmail.com. Also, be sure to follow Ryan at Dr._Ryan on Twitter. You can also keep up to date with his Monday night Twitch streams office hours at twitch.tv/Dr._Ryan. That's Dr._RYAN. Dr._Ryan on both Twitch and Twitter. And follow Chris on Twitter at Burezu in Japan. Now, I know what you're thinking. Don't worry, I'm going to spell it out for you right now. That's BUREZUINJAPAN. That's all one word, Burezu in Japan on Twitter. And when they are streaming, you can check them out at twitch.tv/BlazeTK. That's BLAZE, the letter T, the letter K on Twitch. BlazeTK. Thank you again so much, everyone. We'll see you in the next episode.